This is Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network.
I know the whole city rising. A little early, it's a bit surprising. Business moves, now we enterprising. Switch it up, now we improvising. Go to get in the winter column.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? It is your boy, Stephen D, and we are live right here on the #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm your host, Stephen D. We're going to have a great show. It is Throwback Thursday. Super excited to be hanging out with y'all this morning. Got a lot lined up. Got a lot of good stuff. Want to say good morning to my Finlaws, my family. Glad you guys are here. Super excited that y'all are hanging out with me on this beautiful Throwback Thursday. Again, my name is Stephen D. You can follow me on all social media at Stephen D. SKPL. Spread kindness, positivity, and love. Make sure you guys follow me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, especially Twitter. Trying to get my Twitter game up. So make sure you guys follow me on Twitter at Stephen D. SKPL. Make sure you follow Miami Sports Music on all social media platforms, including at MIA Sports Music. Okay? Make sure y'all do that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Also, hey, look, you hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the like button on your way through the door this morning. When you guys get up in here, or ladies, when you get up in here, just hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything. Hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel. Subscribe. Make sure you subscribe. We are 48 subscribers away. Count them. 48 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. I'm stoked. I'm stoked. 48 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. Well, and let me tell you, how do we get there? We get there with your help. So the link that I'm about to post in the chat, if you guys can share that link, it goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. So use that link for the subscribe. Share it on your Facebook. Share it on your Twitter. Share it in text. Whatever you got to do, just share it. It's a big deal. Make sure y'all do that. Also, hey, look, at the same time, if you want to sign up and become a member of the family today, make sure y'all do that. You guys can sign up, become a member of the family today. The link is in the description below for you to sign up and become a member today. I'd love to get 2 new members to the channel, or people that used to be members that aren't members anymore. Bobby Young, I'd love to see you come back. Lamar Bennett, come back. I don't know if Lamar was one, but hey, well, join the family, Lamar. There are plenty of perks and seats at the table waiting for you. We'd love to see you come on. Hey, if you want to help the channel grow by donating, lots of different ways you guys can do that. You can use the YouTube live super chat, which is the $ below the bottom of the chat. It's in the little box. You see the little $. You guys click it, and you can donate to the channel. It helps the channel grow. It goes such a long way into helping the channel grow. We got a lot of cool stuff that we're going to do this coming up December with Christmas season right around the corner. So we're super excited about that. ZSM Sports. Myself, I'm waiting for the box of ZSM Sports stuff to get in. So I'm really, really looking forward to it. So make sure y'all look out for that stuff. If you guys want to donate, you guys can do that. You can also use Cash App, which is $MSM Podcast Network, or PayPal, which is also MSM Podcast Network. All right. Speaking of sponsors, speaking of ZSM Sports. We love ZSM Sports. Zachary over at ZSM Sports has the best place to get your cards, jerseys, balls, and hard-to-find items. ZSM Sports, specializing in all sports memorabilia. Make sure you check them out today at ZSM Sports or at Sports ZSM on Instagram. Okay? Awesome. Hey, look, Hangry Al's. Good food, good mood. Craft subs and salads. Best place in South Florida to get subs. That's right. Better than all those other places. Make sure you guys go follow Hangry Al's today. And make sure you give him a call before you show up there, so that way he can be ready for you at 305-279-5332. Hangry Al's, absolutely amazing. 16606 Sheridan Street in Pembroke Pines, Florida. Make sure you give them a follow on Instagram at Hangry Al's, Hangryals. Vasasaur. We love Vasasaur. Vasasaur is absolutely amazing. Born and raised, a beer created for the fans, by the fans, the official beer of Clock Blockers. And also, East 32 Dolphins Tailgate has it there at their tailgate too. Just a lot of beautiful stuff. Want to remind y'all, okay, just be on the lookout. Vesasaur watch party. Vesasaur watch party for the Buffalo Bills game. It's going to be big. Dolfreaky, myself hosting it. We're going to have tons of special guests there. We're going to have Cameron 954 there. We're going to have Tamaris there. We're going to have Batman there. We're going to have a whole bunch of people from the Miami sports music community, including hopefully the Honorable Solo D will be there too, and maybe even some Miami Dolphins friends too. So we're just waiting to hear back from Vesasaur and figure out who's going to be there for that. But it's a free event, but you're going to have to RSVP to it. You're going to RSVP to it on TAILGATE. We're going to have that link up by this weekend. So when that link is up by this weekend, you're going to RSVP at TAILGATE. It's going to be a free link for the game. They want to know how many people are showing up to this thing. So you're going to have to RSVP to it. It's free to come to, and you'll do it on TAILGATE. So speaking of TAILGATE, if you haven't downloaded the app, download it today. It's free. Doesn't cost anything. Download the app in your current Apple or Crapple or Android device, whatever you got. Just make sure you do it, and it will be awesome. Okay. Also, if you need tickets to this weekend's games or any games coming up, a great place to sit.com. We love them. Why do we love them? Well, because they're absolutely amazing. So a great place to sit.com. Tickets to any game, any concert, any event, make sure you go to a great place to sit.com. The price you see is the price you get. But here is the best part. The best part about it is if you give them a call at 954-979 or 989-7979 and use the code word DWA, you will get an additional 5% off on your tickets. So make sure you go to a great place to sit.com, check them out. They're going to be awesome. And that's to any of the games. I mean, if you're going out to the West Coast for any of those games, you need tickets, great place to sit.com. You're going to Buffalo, great place to sit.com. The playoffs are about to come. You guys need tickets. A great place to sit.com is the place to get them. So make sure you guys check them out. They're absolutely amazing. Okay. All right. Without further ado, it is a beautiful day, a wonderful day. It is Throwback Thursday. That is right. We do this each and every Thursday. We're going to talk all-time 49ers versus Dolphins. We're going to have celebrity NFL picks with our girl Tamaris later on this morning. But without further ado, let me bring on the biggest LeBron James fan himself. He's bigger LeBron James fan than me. That's why he's awesome. He's one of my best friends. I love him to death. Mr. Cameron 954, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, good morning, TD Finstock. How you doing?
TD Finstock. What's up, baby? How are you?
Good, man. How are you?
Oh, man, I'm chilling, man. I'm ready for the weekend, man. I'm nervous. We're gonna talk to Dolphins game, but I'm nervous, man. I'm just a little jittery. And then next week I will be on a cruise with the family, so I'm pretty excited about that. You're gonna be doing, by the way, next week with CB83. He will be doing the picks with you and Tamaris next week.
On Thursday?
On Thursday, yeah.
Awesome.
Won't be there. I'll be in the middle of the ocean somewhere.
Hopefully on the boat, not swimming.
Yeah, well, thank you. I appreciate that, I guess. I won't be watching Poseidon or anything for the next week or so. Oh, my goodness. What's up, man? How you doing?
Good, man. Busy week. A lot of stuff going on. How about Team USA yesterday? Amazing.
That's on the docket to talk about this morning. Yeah, man. I guess we can kind of get right into it, man. The World Cup it's been fun to watch, man. I've been enjoying every second of watching the World Cup. I'm not a big soccer person, but I watch it, obviously when the World Cup's in play, and I follow Miami or Inter Miami. I follow the MLS side because of Miami, but I'm not big into it. But man, let me tell you, I've been watching it nonstop. I don't know how manly this sounds, but I was getting a pedicure done with my wife yesterday. She wanted my feet to get done before we went out on this cruise. She's like, "You can't be at the pool with your feet being that way. We need to go get your feet met." So we're at this salon, and they're all watching. Like all of them are watching the World Cup, and I guess they all had bet money on the World Cup. And Argentina was obviously playing with Messi. And so they're like, if Messi gets a goal, we win. If Messi gets a goal, we win. So they were all rooting for Messi at the salon yesterday. It was wild. It was wild watching the game at the salon, getting a pedicure.
I got so many questions, Steve.
Okay, well, I mean, ask away by all means. I'm a man. I have no problem saying I got a pedicure. My wife wanted me to get one. I got one. What else?
I'm just curious
To say about it.
I'm just number one, why didn't she pay to go to the barber and clean up that trash you got around your
What are
shin?
you talking about, man? This right here, my friend, is just beautifulness. It's beautifulness. I'm letting it grow a little bit, my guy.
If you were a squirrel, sure. But my question is like, so you went to a mani-pedi place, right?
Yes. Oh, you're nicknaming it now. Okay, I wasn't even nicknaming it.
There's all right, I'm gonna look something up for you later on. There's a so they're betting on Argentina.
Yeah, they were.
So any mani-pedi place that I drop my wife and daughter off to is run by Vietnamese or Koreans, or
They were betting on Messi to score a goal, and they were betting on the over. They had bet the over 2.5 or 2.25 or whatever it was. I swear to you not. I lie to you not.
That's pretty funny.
And they lost in both. So let's just say, us being there for the 90 minutes that we were there, which was ridiculously a long time to be there for a pedicure each.
You're watching the soccer game.
Well, they were like doing our feet and looking at the game.
You have toes left?
Huh? I know that, right? Exactly. No, my feet feel pretty good. I'm not gonna lie.
All right, man. Enough of that, man. Enough of that. US won. They played Netherlands Saturday, 9 a.m., which is a winnable game.
9 a.m. really. It starts at the pregame coverage starts at 9. It starts at 10. Before I get into it, first thing I want to get into, here's the one thing that I've got from soccer, watching the last week and a half, 2 weeks. There is so much flopping in soccer. Like, it is ridiculous, the flopping. Like, it makes LeBron James look.
No,
yes, bro. Bro, the flopping I've seen at the World Cup is ridiculous.
Level 2. So you got to understand the game, right? Like, I'm not condoning flopping. I think there's a lot of acting and bad acting. When the two guys
bad acting
come
like,
out with
you literally see the guys on the ground like this.
Come out with the magic spray.
They're like this. I'm like, what are you doing? Everybody's watching you.
But listen, LeBron is the king of flops.
No, he's not.
We can spend the next 3 hours pulling up YouTube highlights.
We wouldn't have a listenership if we did that.
Just Google, keep talking about LeBron, and you're going to go down that path. You can Google LeBron flops, and I mean, it's like 300 pages long.
Rick Spar says the Iranian was screaming like he just got shot, and then gets up and walked away. Man,
they sprayed him with the magic spray.
Oh, that's why I don't watch men's soccer. The women, though, they get it in. LeBron makes Reggie Miller look like a novice flopper.
A novice flopper. Yeah, Reggie, like there's the flopping. Let's talk about this.
Why?
The Mount Rushmore of floppers.
Flopping.
Reggie Miller and LeBron are on there.
Tom Brady.
No, just basketball.
Oh, well then, okay. I will admit and put LeBron up there.
Okay. That's a win.
So we'll put LeBron up there.
Reggie Miller.
I don't remember 100%. A lot of Reggie, but yes, I know Reggie was known.
Dude, if Michael just blew on him, he'd.
I'm gonna go. Paul Pierce. Paul 100%. Pierce.
I got one.
Pierce was huge.
Bill Lambier.
You can't put a bad boy of the NBA in flopping. No
I'll put
way.
You up there. Rodman was a king flopper.
No way. Those guys manhandled anybody who came in the paint, my guy.
They also flopped.
I gotta give my wife. My wife was a big Bad Boys fan. She loved the Detroit Pistons. If she's listening right now, put in the chat, like, because she loves the Bad Boys of the NBA. She loved the Pistons.
I love Dennis Rodman and Vinnie Johnson. But I'm a Bulls fan. I hated those guys too.
It was fun to watch, right?
Chef Jude,
Reggie,
good morning.
LeBron, Manu, and Baron Davis. Baron Davis was a big flopper. Yes, he was. Especially those years at Golden State. That man flopped more than anybody I knew in the NBA.
You know who's a good present day flopper?
I'm listening.
Golden State.
To Draymond Green.
Steph is a magical flopper.
But he's too busy hitting threes.
Dude, he walks in and flops. he got called for a foul the other night in the game against Dallas where he leaned into the defender and flopped, and he got called for the foul.
Look, I'll say this, my guy. When it all comes down to it, I will admit that LeBron is up there as one of the biggest floppers of all time. I have no problem saying that. And I also have no problem with him doing it because it's the way the NBA is. So, but I will say watching soccer, to me, it makes LeBron look like he's never flopped a day in his life, in my opinion.
So there is a good amount of flopping going on, and that's what the bad side of the sport is, right? But you also understand these athletes are running, 90 minutes, 45 minutes each side.
And there's one ref.
Well, there's actually four, but
I know,
5.
but there's one on the field, and he's the one that's making 90% of the calls.
Correct. But my point is that these guys are chiseled, physical specimens, right? Like there's no fat on them. They're just muscle, right? And they're running and running and running, and you get clipped with some cleats on the shin or the ankle, or get your foot stepped on. It's gonna hurt.
It doesn't feel good. I get you. I understand that, but man, some of these guys make it look like they're
doing some Evel Knievel barrel rolls.
Yeah, like come on, guys, please get out of here. All right. Well, anyways, real quick, what do you think? Are we beating the Netherlands on Saturday morning? It's going to be a tough game.
It's a very winnable game. It's a game that if the U.S. plays like they do in the first half, they played really well the first half against Wales, really well against in this last game against Iran in the first half, and they seem to turtle their defense and I don't like that strategy so much. When they're aggressive and running, man, they're hard to beat. So. Listen, Netherlands is a good team, and they're experienced. So I find the U.S. has a good shot, and I'll leave it at that.
Hey, on the U.S. men's team, there's only one person from the MLS on that team. What does that say about the MLS, that there's only one person
on the U.S. team?
On the U.S. team.
Yeah, but there's, I think, 13 MLS players in
the tournament. Yes, but what does that say about the U.S. when there's only one person from their league, their home league?
I think there's more to with it than just not selecting MLS players. I think the time of their season they couldn't commit. When U.S. men's team was trying to qualify in training, for the World Cup. Contractually, these guys sign contracts to play for MLS, and they're not allowed to go play for the U.S. men's national team. A lot of these guys, have amateur status still.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, look, I when I saw that, it just was very interesting. I was like, holy cow, there's only one player on the U.S. team from the MLS. I thought it was very interesting, and I just wanted to know if that said anything about the sport of soccer or anything about the league of the MLS in the world. But you're right. I think there's 13 or 14 people in the MLS that are in the entire World Cup playing. So,
which is good. It's really cool. And there's various World Cup players on other teams that that play in the MLS, and it's really cool to see. And
segue, the France player who he ended up not having a goal, but he had scored an alleged goal at the time and did the waddle. How cool was that yesterday?
That was pretty cool, man.
I love it, man. I love it. Fajo said the MLS is the retirement league for the EPL. There is that's needed to be said, Steve. Don't let Cameron gaslight you.
He's not wrong, man. It is the retirement league. Like it, like Messi's rumored to
come here. Do you think Messi comes here after the World Cup
for $225 million for 3 years? He will.
Look, he is 35 years old, and watching the game yesterday, I still think he's top 10 player, top 5 player maybe in all the world. I'll say top 10 player in the world right now. He's still a top 10 player at 35 years old in the entire world. That's crazy.
I don't disagree, but I'm a novice when I talk about this. There's plenty of great players playing in the World Cup, and it's cool to see. But Messi coming here is more of a PR thing than anything else. You run him out there for a couple games.
You and I will definitely go to a game.
100%. I'm not saying we're going to tailgate for it or nothing, but we'll go to a game.
We're gonna go see Messi if he comes. Best believe we're going to see Messi.
Absolutely.
And I got to get a Messi jersey if he comes.
And Ronaldo is rumored to be signing with the Saudi Arabian team for mega money too.
Mega contract. I think it was something like 300 million for 5 years or something. So, I mean, absolutely insane money that they're getting. But good for them, right? Good for them. I hope they get it. All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show. Clock Blockers. It is Throwback Thursday. Stephen D, Cameron 954. We usually have our girl Tamaris on at this time, but Tamaris is going to be coming on in about 30, 40 minutes.
Yeah, 10:30.
All right, so let's kind of break away and let's get into some NFL talk. And one of the things that I want to talk about with you is the Hall of Fame voting. They went down to the finalists. The 2023 finalist. And, there's a person that's on this list that we are pretty excited to see, but there's also another person that we agree should be on this list who's a close friend of the show that's not on this list. So, I mean, first, what are your first thoughts in looking at this list for the semifinalists for the Hall of Fame?
I mean, it's Zach Thomas's time, right? Like, he needs to be up there. There's a lot of, so it's really cool to see, like, these are a lot of the players that now, like, we grew up or I grew up, watching through high school, college, and pros. And guys like, Devin Hester at the U, Anquan Bolden down here. There's a lot of Freddie Taylor, man, from University of Florida. Darren Woodson, man. That Darren Woodson to me is a first ballot Hall of Famer, right? Darrell Revis?
He's not a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he
should be in the Hall of Fame. Huh?
No, the people that are up first time are Andre Johnson, Darrell Revis, Steve Smith, and DeMarcus Ware are first time ballots.
Woodson's already been nominated.
Woodson's already been nominated.
So for me, like, he should be in the Hall of Fame.
If I'm looking at this list straight up, like, I would say Anquan deserves to be in it now. Torrey Holt. Anquan Bolden, definitely. His numbers will show. Like, he had a very long career, definitely deserves. I would go Anquan. I would go Rodney Harrison, Torrey Holt, Fred Taylor, Zach Thomas.
Fred Taylor?
Hines Ward, Vince Wilfork, and Darren Woodson.
See, so that's the issue I have.
That's just an initial, like, off the top. I think there's a couple of other players that I could make a case for, right? Like, I didn't say, like, Devin Hester is one that I would love to see in the Hall of Fame, but I don't know if the numbers support Hester in the Hall of Fame but he should get in he's the best kick returner of all time in the history of the NFL.
Well, then
that right there be good enough to be in the Hall of Fame. I personally would say yes.
He won games. He changed games. And to me, that's Hall of Fame material. So I would definitely say Devin Hester. I would say Jared Allen. The guy changed the game. Like, he was a menace on the outside. Like, Zach Thomas for sure should be in. And then I'll say Darren Woodson. And out of that group, maybe Darrell Revis as a first timer.
I'll tell you, there's 2 people on this list that I would never thought of see their name. And that's DeMarcus Ware and Andre Johnson, who are first-time ballots. Like, I like them. I thought they had great careers, but were they Hall of Fame careers? I don't know about that.
That's
off the top of my head.
And I kind of look at this sideways with a lot of those players, like, James Harrison, Rodney Harrison. Like,
James Harrison, I think, changed the linebacker position. Like, he was, like, that dude was a beast, man.
Did he do it for long enough though? Like, was he that impactful for long enough? Like, I don't know, man. It's hard for me to quantify some of these players in the Hall of Fame when we're talking about the greatest players to ever play the game. And now, we're looking at a lot of great players, but were they the greatest players of their generation? Like Devin Hester was the greatest kick returner of his generation.
Devin Hester, I think, because he was the greatest player at his position ever in the history of the game, you can make that argument and say he deserves to be in there. There's nobody better.
So if his generation, Darrelle Revis is this, you can say the same thing about him. He revolutionized the cornerback position.
Joe Thomas. But if Joe Thomas gets in, you like the fact that Richmond isn't in is like, again, and we look at some names that are not up here, and Richmond Webb being one of them. The fact that Richmond was not a semifinalist is atrocious to me and disrespectful. The man clearly dominated the offensive line for his entire NFL career. I don't understand why he's not even as a semifinalist, and it bothers me that he wasn't. What are your thoughts about Richmond not being there?
I love Richmond, man, and I think he's deserving of the recognition. I think to be honest with you, he probably sits amongst a bunch of names that have similar resumes.
Say that again.
I think he's. I love Richmond Webb, and I think he was an incredible offensive lineman. But you could say that in the same breath with a lot of these guys that are on this list. So it's hard to did he do enough to separate himself from the rest of the names is I think my point.
Look, I'll say this. I think that he definitely deserves to be in there, but he's not, and I don't know how. If he's not a semifinalist now, and I know that some of the players that are coming up in the future Hall of Fame ballots, new first timers, the people that are still there, I don't know if he's going to get in. And that
Andre Johnson is somebody that you don't. Think about as an elite wide receiver, because he doesn't have that Jerry Rice.
In my opinion, 4 or 5 years, but I would not have had him for.
He played 14 years.
I know, but I feel like elite. He was 4 or 5 years, maybe, but he was good his entire career. He was elite 4 or 5 years,
maybe 6.
Well, I don't think that's enough to say that you were a Hall of Famer.
70 total touchdowns in
and what is that all time in wide receivers?
I don't know. I got to look that up, but it's interesting.
I don't think the number I don't have the numbers in front of me, but off the top of my head, I don't think they would support or validate him being all time one of the best.
Yeah.
And
that's the same argument, for argument's sake, that we're having about Richmond Webb, or we're having about Joe Thomas, or we're having about, all these other guys that are on this list did they do enough to separate themselves for, a prolonged amount of time versus, the other people in their Hall of Fame class. And that was kind of the issue with Zach Thomas, right? And you could say that, he has better stats than Brian Urlacher.
Zach Thomas is top 3 or top 4 in almost every category that a linebacker can have in the history of the NFL. The history of the NFL.
Listen, I'm not disagreeing with you one bit.
And by the way, it's not the Hall of Very Good. It's the Hall of Fame. You need to set yourself up as elite, as the best of the best. And I think, somebody like Andre Johnson, who, again, I feel bad because I don't think he was a horrible player. I don't think he was, Hall of Very, very good. I think he was maybe a little bit above Hall of Very, very, very good. But I don't know if he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame based on, the way that is. And is that fair to him? Probably not. But, you and I are big baseball fans. And there are years that people in Major League Baseball don't get into the Hall of Fame. And there's a side of me that bothers me. And there's a side of me that's like, they're very particular about who they let in. you know? And you and I have been there where there's been nobody elected. What do you need? Like 90% of, or something stupid, 90% of the vote in the Major League Baseball to get in?
More than that, yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, do we think that we need to raise the bar of how we elect people into the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
Well, speaking of Andre Johnson, is it enough to be ranked 11th all time in catches and yards to be elected to the Hall of Fame? Because really, that's what his resume is built on.
He was in a totally different league. I mean, look at, there's going to be
go ahead.
There's going to be some people in the league, because the way the league is set up now, that are better, that have better number. Like what Marino did back in his day was elite, right? For many different reasons. But what Marino in today's league, imagine what he would have done with all the pass interference calls, or, you know, the protecting the quarterback calls. Imagine what, you know, Marino could have had an extra 3 or 4 years of playing in the league the way that it's designed now, you know, easy. Troy Aikman, same way, you know? So it's a different NFL. So, which is why when you look at numbers, sometimes I think they're a little skewed, because you have to look at the era that the players played in. But I will also say, to the example, that you take numbers into account, and you take longevity of eliteness, and you combine those two together, and you say, okay, is that person good enough for the NFL Hall of Fame?
Well, by that criteria right there, then Andre Johnson should be in the Hall of Fame. 17 years, 11th all-time in receiving yards, 11th all-time in catches, 70 touchdowns, led the league twice with back-to-back 1,500-yard seasons in a time when running the ball was much more prominent than passing.
All right, but so we take 17 years of the NFL, and we go to somebody who maybe played 6 less years and has just as good as numbers, like Calvin Johnson. Look at Calvin Johnson compared to Andre Johnson. I'd love to compare those two guys' numbers.
Okay.
I'd be very interested to know Calvin Johnson's and Andre Johnson's numbers. To me,
the thing
that
is
would be a
that
good comparison.
We're not supposed to be comparing, right? Like it's the Hall of Fame set up to be based on that singular player's merits, right? The body of work of that player, like you, and Zach Thomas gets caught up in the wash with this because people want to compare him to Urlacher or compare him to, you know, other people that are in the Hall of Fame. But did Zach Thomas put a resume out there on his own based on the merits of work he put on the field good enough to be inducted to the Hall of Fame? We all say yes, right?
Yeah.
So that's the same thing. You look at Andre Johnson, you know, his resume should be enough. Now, is it, you know, mind-blowing? You know, is he top 5 in passing yards and catches? No, but I mean, is it fair to Andre Johnson? The guy played for 16, 17 years, and he put together a resume that is Hall of Fame worthy. And I think that's how you look at these things.
I'm looking up Calvin Johnson and Andre Johnson because, in my opinion, if Andre played 17 years,
Calvin averaged more yards per game. Calvin had the best 2 seasons of the pair with 1,964 receiving yards in 2012 and 1,681 in 2011. Andre never passed 1,600 yards, but had 3.
So time out. Hold on. It took Calvin Johnson. How many years did Calvin play? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 years. Only played 9. And he got to 1,100 receiving yards. Andre played 17 years. He played 8 more years in the league. And he had 1,400. Am I reading this right? 1,400 receiving yards according to Pro Football Reference. So he only had 3,000 more receiving yards over. To me, the numbers don't add up. I don't think Andre Johnson deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. Personal opinion. Calvin is elite.
But that's what I just got through saying is like we're not comparing to other players, right? You're not supposed to compare to other players.
Andre Johnson is in the Hall of Very Good. I agree with that. I don't think he's Hall of Fame worthy, and I don't think he should be a finalist over somebody like Richmond Webb. And I'm not trying to downplay Andre. I like Andre, great guy. Nothing against the man. The man went to the U. Okay, love him.
A lot of these guys went to the U.
Hall of Fame.
A lot of these guys on the list here went to the U, but it's an interesting conversation, and and it's hard for us to judge a player, who had such prolific stats and say you can or can't. It's not up to us, but to me, Andre Johnson is deserving, whether it's now or later on down the line.
I think they need to make. I think there's three things that need to happen in the Hall of Fame for football. Number one, voting needs to happen by former players. That's one. You get rid of the writers. I don't think the writers should, or if the writers have a vote, it shouldn't be as big of a vote as it is now. It should not be all on the writers. Former players should have a say on who gets into the Hall. Number two, there should be criteria that's required in order to even be considered. Not just get in, just be considered. And then I think you also have to say, there's certain things that will get you in. And I don't think Andre, somebody like Andre at 17 years, only having 3,000 more receiving yards compared to one of the best of all time, which is Calvin Johnson, who did it in 9. I mean, come on. To me, that's a night and day difference. Like, it's not even close. Like, how can you even remotely even think about putting Andre?
Again, it's not a comparison, right? It's not a comparison.
I disagree. I think you do have to compare. I'm saying everybody's unique in their own way. And then you go to the Devin Hester part, right?
Huh?
Then you go to, I was going to say, then go to the Devin Hester thing. Like Torrey Holt. Let's look up Torrey Holt. I think Torrey Holt should be in the Hall of Fame. But let's see what his numbers say. So Torrey Holt played 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years. He played 11 years in the NFL. And he has 13,000 receiving yards. 13,000 receiving yards. So he has very similar, the same amount of receiving yards. He has almost 800 less receiving yards than Andre Johnson. But Torrey Holt did it in 11 years compared to Andre's, again, 17. So that's 5 more years, okay? And so you look at Torrey Holt's numbers, and you look at Calvin Johnson's numbers, by the way. Calvin, in 9 years, did 1,100. Torrey Holt should be a first-ballot Hall of Famer. And he's not. He's not even on the first ballot. He's been on the ballot before. But Torrey Holt should be a shoo-in for the Hall of Fame. His numbers show Torrey Holt should be a Hall of Fame. Huh?
So 11 seasons, right?
11. Yep, 10 years plus 1 with Jacksonville. I don't remember Torrey Holt with Jacksonville, by the way. Very interesting. I don't remember that. But I guess he was. Still, but yeah. I mean, crazy to me. 1, 2.
Let me ask you something, and this is an interesting stat, and see if you can identify this player and tell me if he deserves to be in the Hall of Fame or not.
Okay.
In the first of all-time players, wide receivers in NFL history, in their first 8 years, this player ranks 5th in receptions, 7th all-time in receiving yards, 16th in 10-catch games, whatever that means. I'm sorry, 2nd in 10-catch games.
By the way, Andrevius said Andre played 14 seasons, not 17. Okay, that does make a little bit of a difference. But I would still put him borderline. I wouldn't put him shoe-in. Go ahead. Sorry.
No. This player is tied for second all time in 50-yard games, 5-catch 50-yard games,
Okay.
and tied for third all time in 10-catch 100-yard games.
Okay.
Again, 5th all time in receptions, 7th all time in receiving yards.
I would probably say that person. Is in the Hall of Fame, or should be in the Hall.
And
of
you know
Fame.
who that person is?
No, who is it?
Antonio Brown.
Wow, really? And here's what I like what you just did, right? You took the personality out. We basically just said, hey, just think of the numbers. Don't think about, like, we all know Antonio Brown off the
resume,
field, right? You know, look at his resume on the field. Yeah, Tony. And I'm interested, how many years did Antonio Brown play?
So who knows? But to support Torrey Holt in the first 8 years of his career, which we just, I told you
11.
Antonio Brown, and I'm measuring
he played 12 years, but he played limited games. Like New England in 2019, he played 1 game, and Tampa he played 8.
Right.
Tampa he played 7. So you would say a total of probably 9, 10. You probably play 11 years. You play 11 years of football in that, and.
But along those same parameters, most receiving yards first 8 years of his career. Number 1 is Torrey Holt. Number 2 is Andre Johnson. Number 3, Jerry Rice. 4, Randy Moss. 5, Marvin Harrison. 6, Larry Fitzgerald.
Antonio Brown should be a first. Antonio Brown will not be a first ballot Hall of Famer. His numbers support him being a first ballot Hall of Famer, but he's gonna get. He should get in. He shouldn't be a first ballot Hall of Famer because of off the field stuff. But you'll say he's a first ballot Hall of Famer, and he should be. Or he's a Hall of Famer, and he should be, not a first ballot. He deserves to be in. His numbers support it. And I would take Antonio Brown 10 out of 10 times over Andre Johnson.
You would?
That's funny how elite that is.
Exactly. Who else is in that same conversation who won't get in the Hall of Fame? Brandon Marshall.
Was Brandon?
Because he's right up there.
Number, just put that up there.
Brandon is number 1 in the first 8 years of his career with most 10-catch 100-yard games.
All right.
He's tied for second.
4, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 years. But again, there was some with 5 games, 2 games, 1 game. So we'll say 12. We'll say 11 years. We'll say 11 years out of what he really played. 12,000 receiving yards, 83 touchdowns. Brandon Marshall's a Hall of Famer, 100%. And he should be a first ballot Hall of Famer. Brandon Marshall should be in. Again, I still don't believe that Andre should be in. Looking at his numbers, don't care if it was 14 years over 17. Who cares? I think those extra 3 years, just like, to me, yeah. And even if he shouldn't even be a semifinalist, in my opinion. The fact that, because there are other players, like Richmond Webb should have been in there over him. And I'm a homer. I get it. I'm a Dolphins fan. Richmond's a friend. I get it. I understand it. The fact that Richmond Webb is not a semifinalist and Andre Johnson is crazy to me. Look how long it took T.O., G said. Flawed. And T.O., by the way, gave them the big middle finger and didn't even go to the ceremony. Did his own ceremony. But according to the Hall of Fame, T.O. should have been a first ballot Hall of Famer. And by the way, that's why I think that writers should not get votes, because it's like, who cares what their relationship was with T.O.? If you go back and look at T.O.'s career, correct me if I'm wrong, T.O. did nothing off the field. There was no off the field, like he never got in trouble with the law. It was always he had mental health issues. Same way with Brandon Marshall. Correct me if I'm wrong on that. But I don't think T.O. or Brandon Marshall, either one of them, got in trouble with off of the field issues. Anything. It was always locker room and personality disputes. That was it. And that's because the NFL didn't take a big stance on mental health at the time. And so it made him look as a bad guy because the media didn't know anything better or anything else to do. And it goes back to the mental health that they've started to make an emphasis on in the league. But that's why Ricky Williams, right? Ricky was a weird guy, according to the world. When we all know that Ricky's not a weird guy. He's a very smart, one of the most intelligent individuals you will ever meet. I love Ricky. I love him. Ricky, first ballot Hall of Famer, by the way. So I don't know. I'm a homer. I get it. Andre, I don't think Andre should be. Andre V says T.O. made it the second year. Cry me a river. Also, Zach Thomas should be in the Hall of Fame. Yep, totally agree. True, but he rubbed the league the wrong way. Yeah, but as I just mentioned, there was, just a lot of other BS along with that. He put up all those numbers with a bad quarterback, bro. Stop all that. Talking about Andre Johnson with Matt Schaub for all those years. Matt Schaub wasn't a horrible quarterback. Derek Carr or David Carr wasn't Derek Carr wasn't a bad quarterback. They just played on some bad football teams. Bad football teams. All right. You don't agree with me?
They're not good. They're not good quarterbacks. Neither one of them. They weren't good quarterbacks. They were marginal starters in the NFL.
I was going through more numbers. All right, I'll stop looking at numbers. All right. It's 10:18. We probably got it. Let's get into something else that people are going to be voting on over the next couple of weeks here. Pro Bowl. Although there is no Pro Bowl anymore. Pro Bowl voting for the NFL. And there's a lot of Miami Dolphins on that Pro Bowl list, which is really, really cool. By the way, Tyreek Hill is fifth in voting in the entire AFC, which is really cool. So what are your thoughts about the Pro Bowl voting? Does it mean anything now because there's no Pro Bowl? What are your thoughts about the Pro Bowl?
I really don't have any thoughts about the Pro Bowl. It's a recognition affair. It doesn't, to me, it holds no weight as far as wins, losses. Like, the guys that get voted into the Pro Bowl, are pretty much deserving. And, I think for them, it's a great recognition and all of them get some money out of it. I'm sure they have salary, or contract negotiations that include, stipends for the all pro team and first team, all NFL, stuff like that. And I think it really, it wasn't what it once was, right? Like they watered it down so much to the fact where it was unwatchable football. It was more like flag football. I'd rather see an NHL style skills contest, which I think they're doing.
Yep. They're bringing back the quarterback, the NFL QB club quarterback competition, which I think is dope because I remember watching that and loved it.
Yeah, that was really cool stuff out of Wide World of Sports at Disney. But Dravius, my smoke detector is going off. Anyway, it's really, to me, it's an afterthought and really a meaningless thing.
Just a little update. Teron Armstead is the number one vote getter at left tackle, and Alex Ingold is number one among fullbacks. Tyreek Hill is second on the wide receivers behind Justin Jefferson. Jalen Waddle, fourth in voting at receiver. Tua Tagovailoa is third in voting at quarterback
behind who?
Mahomes and Josh Allen.
Understandable.
Okay. Mike Gesicki is number 9 among tight ends. Williams is number 8 among centers. Holland is number 3 among free safeties. Chubb is 8th among outside linebackers. And Raheem Mostert is 6th for return specialist.
I think those are all accurate outside of maybe Gesicki, but.
So, look, I'll say this. Teron Armstead, Alec Ingold, Tyreek Hill, Jalen Waddle, Tua, that's 5. All deserve to be in, and I would probably even go to say that Javon Holland should probably get in too. So they're 6. I think Chubb, when it's all said and done, has a legit chance. The numbers will show that he deserves it. I don't know if he'll get. It'll be how the voting ends up being. So it's entirely plausible the Dolphins have 5 to 7 Pro Bowlers, quote unquote. Which kind of sucks that we're not going to see it this year because, I mean, the most I think I can ever remember at one time for the Dolphins was like 3. Jason Taylor, Zach Thomas, and Sam Madison, I think is the most I ever remember at one time.
2016, right? We had Pouncey was a starter. I think Tannehill was a backup All-Pro, if I'm not mistaken, that year. And who else was on that team that made it? I know that 2016 had some.
Shout out to William Perry for the $5 donation. Hey, Steven, you're welcome for the 4 more subscribers overnight. Love William Perry. Appreciate it, brother. Javon is not a Pro Bowler this year, kid. The number, like interceptions or tackles, but they're not throwing his way either. Like, and I think that counts for something.
It's Cameron Wake and Ndamukong Suh on the 2016 team.
By the way, it was weird seeing Ndamukong Suh in a Philadelphia Eagles jersey the other night. I really
like 13 snaps.
I know. Again, I wish that is one guy I wanted to see the Dolphins go after.
Hey, so let's talk about that because did you see who got a considerable amount of snaps for the Dolphins this past Sunday?
No.
At defensive end, and it was someone they poached off the Buffalo Bills practice squad, Zimmer. Yeah, who played significant snaps last year for the Buffalo Bills and the year before as well. And he had a really good game for us.
There's a need for that, right? And the Dolphins just went out and poached another offensive lineman from Buffalo's practice squad, if I'm correct, too. Right?
I didn't see that.
Who did the Dolphins get? Dolphins practice squad. Want to make sure I say the name correctly. 3 days ago. Kendall Lamb. Tackle. Offensive line. Kendall Lamb.
Can we talk about how bad Austin Jackson was the other day?
Do we have to? He was horrible. We know it. I think that the Miami Dolphins, when it's all said and done, will make the necessary. Well, I mean, look, it came out yesterday that Teron Armstead could still play, which I love.
I do, but I mean, I'd rather have Teron Armstead for the rest of the season, and not injure himself worse, further this weekend. I'd rather give him the time to heal up that pack.
If he says he's good enough to go, who the hell am I to question him?
You're right. And I want to see Brandon Shell on the other side. Like Brandon Shell is, played a lot better.
Shell on the right side?
No, on the left side.
No, when he's on the right, he's good. When he's on the left, he's horrible. Like night and day difference. Not even close. So
I'm all for it.
I 100% agree with that. Before I want to talk Dolphins, obviously, after we have Tamaris on. Let's just briefly touch on a game since we'll be able to touch on this game, and then we'll get into the picks. Hopefully Tamaris will be on by then. I want to talk about the Patriots-Bills game tonight because I think it's a very interesting game, man. Patriots-Bills, it's going to have it could have major implications with the Miami Dolphins. But before we get into that, just what are your thoughts about Buffalo at New England tonight? What do you think?
Man, I can't wait for this game because I really want to see New England win. I want to see Well, and New England's going to be hamstrung a little bit without their running back to be able to control that ball. And then Von Miller on the other side, maybe out only one game.
I know it was initially thought he would be back. He would be down for 3 or 4 weeks, and now he might only miss one, might be back, or maybe 2. But either way, he's probably going to be back in time for our game. Which it goes again, the same thing with Tehran, right? Like, who are we to question? If he feels like he's ready to go, then so be it. Look, I think tonight's going to be very interesting because I think we're going to get a real indicator on who New England is. And I think we're going to get a real indicator on how good Buffalo is. I think divisional opponents bring out the best and worst in teams. The Jets beating Buffalo this year showed me that, look, divisional opponents just play each other differently. And this game on Thursday night, I think will be the equivalent of that. And I don't think there's any favorite personally. I mean, New England's at home. The Buffalo's banged up a little bit. So is New England for that matter. But I mean, you got to think that New England can make a game out of this against Buffalo, right?
Well, we're going to hope that they do, right? Like for on paper, Buffalo's the better team. They have better talent. The quarterback position alone wins them that game. So, do you ever count out Bill Belichick and what he can do and scheme against, an opposing team, especially a division rival at home? No. But I'm kind of surprised that the Patriots, that the Bills are only 3.5-point favorites.
And so that's what gets me, right? Vegas is fairly right for the most part. They're not usually wrong. They have been known to be wrong, but they're not usually wrong. And so I look at this and I say, man, 3, that's all in New England. So I don't think it's a big thing. Like it could easily be by game time 2.5 points. It might not even be a full 3 by the time game time hits. So just looking at the game where it's at, I mean, it's going to come down to whoever makes the most mistakes loses the game. And the question is that going to be Josh Allen, who, by the way, leads the league in the NFL with interceptions? Crazy, right?
Who?
Josh Allen leads the league in interceptions. Or is it going to be Wack Jones? Is he going to make the mistakes? Is he going to feel the pressure from Von Miller? Is that offensive line going to be able to hold against Buffalo's defense? Maybe not Von Miller. Von's not playing, but still, I mean, it's not like that. Even with Von not there, they still have a pretty massive, aggressive defense.
Yeah, listen, it comes down to Allen and what he can do to improvise. I don't think that New England's got the talent to match up, for the all 4 quarters against Buffalo, and that sucks because we need to be rooting for New England. I didn't realize Austin Jackson injured his ankle again against the Texans.
Who did?
Austin Jackson.
Oh, yeah, he did.
The same one that landed him on the injured reserve.
I know. As soon as he comes back, he got hurt again, man. It's insane. That man can't stay healthy for. To me, that for lack of a better phrase or better words, it's the nail in his coffin. Like I don't think he comes back next year. He can't be relied upon, and he's not that good to begin with. I will say, as far as tonight's game goes, just looking at the game and talking about it, with hopefully Tamaris coming on here, I would say that.
Well, let me send her the link.
Yeah. Level 2 News says, Cam, give me your address and I'll come by and change out those batteries in your smoke detector. You're making everybody mad with that.
I know it's a D battery, man. I gotta go get a D battery. I looked for one. I don't have one.
Is it in your room there?
Yeah, it's right here.
All right, unplug it and I'll hit the reset button because you're making everybody mad.
All right, hold on. Let me send this to Tamaris first.
All right, Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. We're getting ready to do Throwback Thursday celebrity NFL picks with our girl Tamaris. It is myself, Stephen D, along with Cameron 954, right here on the #1 Miami fan morning show. I want to remind you guys a couple things. #1, hit the like button, hit it, tap it. How many of y'all are in the room? Over 100 of y'all in the room. Only 28 likes. Hit the like button. It's free. It does not cost anything to hit the like button. Hit it. Also, subscribe to the channel. We are less than 50 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. What I'd like for all of you to do right now, if you can, is make sure, hey, look, make sure right there, you click this link that I got and you copy it. And we're like 48 subscribers away. So, I mean, share it with 48 different people. If all 100 plus of y'all shared it with 48 different people, I think we'll hit it today. But y'all got to share it. Y'all got to let people know. Hey, subscribe to this YouTube channel. Help my friend out. Subscribe. And also donate to the channel. Shout out right now. The only donation we got today is from Mr. William Perry. Thank you, William, for the $5 donation. I appreciate it, my friend. Keep donating to the channel. Big deal. Big deal. And then just want to remind you guys a few things. #1, Vasasaur. We love Vasasaur. Why do we love Vasasaur? Because they're a great sponsor of the show. And we are going to be doing an awesome watch party with them for the Buffalo Bills game. So want to remind you all of that. Buffalo Bills game in Wynwood, South Florida, Wynwood. Vasasaur has a brewery there. Make sure you guys go. We're going to have a huge watch party. Dolph Freaky, myself, we're going to be hosting it. You are going to you're going to have to RSVP, and we're going to have the link for that up on TailGater here in the next day or so. So be on the lookout for that. Download TailGater, the app. It's free. You can download it on your current Crapple or Android device. And then be on the lookout for the Vasasaur Dolphins watch party. Vasasaur Dolphins watch party hosted by Miami Sports Music and Dolph Freaky. It's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I'm super excited about it. And so just make sure you guys do good on that. All right. I think we're getting ready to have Tamaris up here in a minute. You there? What's up?
I'm here.
We got Cameron 954. He took it out. So no more beeping sound. Thank God. Thank God.
My bad.
Anybody ever read your name mistake and you, William Refrigerator Perry? I've said William Refrigerator Perry 50 million times to your name, William.
It's the first thing I think about when I see his name.
Yeah. Actually, but we call him the ice tray. It's William Ice Tray Perry. Because he's not as big as the refrigerator was. Level 2 Noob says, I'm going to unsub and then resub as the 10,000 person to win the $1 million giveaway you're doing. I didn't know I was doing one of those. When did that happen? Yeah, probably not. All right, ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we are going to get going on Throwback Thursday Celebrity NFL Picks with our girl Tamaris. Without further ado, ladies and gentlemen, from F-Boy Island, Tamaris. What's up?
That is too much. That is too much now.
What's going on?
Nothing. Just chilling here at home.
Are you working? Are you like installing floor?
I was never installed.
Look, as far as I'm concerned, you're HGTV at its finest right now. Everything I've heard from you is you have a hard hat on, you got the work belt and the hammer and nails, and you're going around the house making changes.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm doing. 100%.
Okay. See, I knew it.
Oh, no lies.
No lies were told in this statement. Hey, real quick, shout out to Kevin Lee for the $10 donation. He said, let's go, Fins. Miami starts pulling away in the division this week. New England will beat Buffalo, and Minnesota will beat the Jets. Prediction, if Miami wins the next 3, they don't lose the remaining season. Hey, I ain't mad at remaining of the season. I'm not mad at that. I'd like that if that happens. Thank you for the $10 donation, Kevin. All right, Cameron, this is your baby. You go ahead and get the party started.
So, Week 13, but let's do a little review of week 12 here.
Week 13.
I said week 13, but I said let's do a review of week 12.
Yes.
So prior to week 12, Tamaris has been thoroughly kicking our behinds, winning 5 out of the previous 6 weeks and tying that other week. So,
so what you're saying is Tamaris hasn't lost in the last 6 weeks.
7 now, because in week 12, Steven, you had a winning record.
Yes. Yes. Hold on. Yes. Let's go.
But I didn't say you won.
But I had a winning record.
Steven, you were 9-7.
I went where?
9-7.
Hey, that's a winning record, cuz. Let's go.
You did pick Detroit, and they lost on Turkey Day.
They shouldn't have lost. They should not have lost.
Your other losses were Denver, Tampa Bay, Baltimore, Chicago, Seattle, and Green Bay.
Hey, you notice the one time I pick against Vegas, they won. Unbelievable.
Our girl Tamaris was 12-4.
Stop.
Oh.
I'm not giving you the round of applause. I'm not going to do it.
Because that's reserved for me at 13-3.
Oh!
13-3 with the only losses of Baltimore, Tennessee, and Seattle.
So this is the first week that Tamaris hasn't won in the last 7 weeks.
That's correct. She
I mean,
finished second.
That's right, Tamaris.
Your
Your reign is over, Tamaris. Your reign is over.
It's not. It's the overall points throughout the whole entire show.
That's right. And,
So
and
I win.
we're both looking up.
We're moving the goalpost now. Thank you. Thank you for moving the goalpost. Thank you.
So let's get to it, man. We've got a full slate of games this week, week 13, starting with tonight. The Buffalo Bills at the New England Patriots, Tamaris.
Buffalo.
As much as I want to go New England, I believe it's going to be Buffalo, but I'm going to be rooting and pulling for New England.
As I am, I say Buffalo in a close game. I think Vegas is right, 3 points or less. So moving on to Sunday's game, the 1 o'clock games, we have Pittsburgh at Atlanta.
Falcons.
Man, I'm Atlanta's home, right?
Yes.
I'm gonna go Atlanta because they're home.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Pittsburgh looked pretty decent on the other night. Sunday night was it or Monday night? Monday night. But I'll take Atlanta at home. And Atlanta is getting 1 point on their home turf. I think Atlanta wins.
Wow, the point spread's that close.
Yeah,
that's crazy
because both teams suck.
They do.
The Denver Trash Cans against the Baltimore Ravens. Let's ride.
Ravens.
I have a lot of friends who are going to this game, being here in Baltimore. I hate to say it. I don't want to say it, but Baltimore is going to absolutely murder Denver. It's not even going to be close.
Yeah, I agree. Baltimore.
Big.
Green Bay goes into Chicago.
Green Bay.
Green Bay's been top 5 disappointing team in the NFL this year. Very, very surprised. Is Justin Fields playing? Is the question.
Yes.
Then I'm gonna go Chicago with the upset.
Jordan Love is playing.
Jordan Love is playing.
Well, they haven't made that announcement, but I think he'll be playing. The Bears are getting 4.5 at home. I'm taking Chicago all day long.
Yeah, I'm taking Chicago.
Jacksonville Jaguars into Detroit, which to me is one of the more exciting games of the week.
So weird. Jacksonville, Detroit being exciting.
Jacksonville.
Yeah, right. Tamaris?
Jacksonville.
I'm telling you, man, I think Detroit's going to make this fun down the stretch for the NFC wild card, that last spot. I think they're sitting at 4-7. They should have won on Thanksgiving, or they came close, if I'm correct. So I'm gonna go Detroit. I'm gonna go Detroit.
Listen, Trevor Lawrence ranks in the top 5 in quarterbacks with accuracy and yards per pass, which is pretty crazy. I think they have something there with him. As long as they keep developing, I think they have the right coach. But man, we love Detroit, right? I'll take Detroit. Cleveland Browns, the Cleveland Rapists versus the Houston Texans.
Wow, you went there, bro.
Well,
Man,
that's my pick, but now I don't want to pick them. Forget it.
yeah, but Deshaun Watson is starting in Houston, which is crazy. And 10 of his accusers are going to be sitting in the end zone, which is hilarious.
Is that verified? Is that true?
Yes.
Whoa.
Okay.
What are you doing, Tamaris?
Well, I don't want to pick that team. I'm not a supporter, so no.
So you're
What
taking Houston?
is?
Houston's now.
Texans?
Yeah, I guess.
I'm going to go with the backup quarterback, Jacoby Brissett. I'm
Okay.
not rooting for Deshaun. I just know the Houston Texans are not winning that game. It's going to be Cleveland, unfortunately. And by the way, I think, we watched The World of Sports a million times. It's one of the reasons we do the show every day. I think that will be one of the most interesting storylines of the year. And the fact that the accusers are there, row 1, did not know that was that is almost going to be must watch.
What's this guy's name? Now I have to go look it up and see what the
Deshaun Watson.
Watson.
Deshaun Watson. He
Where have you
basically,
been? Tamaris was filming, I think, when a lot of
long
this stuff
story.
was going
Yeah, she
down.
was on an island without any.
You were filming, I think, when a lot of this stuff was going down.
When did it happen? Beginning of this year?
Yeah, when you were out there with F-Boy Island.
Yeah, no, like I didn't even know there was a war going on until after I came back from filming, and that was like in March, which was crazy. Like no one told us, and the producers knew what was going on, and like they didn't care to like inform us what was going on in the real world.
Yeah, it's crazy. So Steven's taking Cleveland, Tamaris is taking Houston. I'm taking the Bill Cosby's in a gallon full of massage oil.
Bro, you can't say that.
and
It's canceled.
Cleveland Browns.
Thank God Tamaris is up here.
I do not.
Do not endorse that statement, Tamaris.
Can you take that little clip off? I do not want to be.
Hey, they're going to be handing out white towels at the door for everybody.
Oh my God.
Like, yeah, not good. Not good.
We're so getting canceled now. So getting canceled.
Man, free rupees and white towels.
Cameron, you cannot say that.
Just
You're
did.
killing me, Smalls.
So the New York Jets go into Minnesota. Tamaris. Pudding pops for everybody at halftime.
Just,
It puts the pudding pop on the. Never mind. I'm not gonna do it. Go ahead, Tamaris. Who are you picking?
Minnesota, whatever.
Minnesota. She's all flustered now.
She's disappointed in me.
Just like
I mean, I would be too.
Oh, whatever.
Cameron, what's the game again? I don't even know the game.
By the way, you picked Cleveland.
I did pick Cleveland.
The Jets going into Minnesota.
Oh my goodness.
And Mike White getting his second start.
I was about to say Mike White is going to play. Shout out to Mike White Sr., who's been on the show before, friend of the Dirty Sportswear family. Man, I actually think this. I can't, bro. I can't take that thing off. Tamara's gonna be so mad at you.
you guys are making me not come on next week.
See, Cameron, you better stop it.
Her stocking here at the house might have some massage oil in it.
God.
Let's see here. I don't know. This is a very tough game. I really don't know who to pick. My gut tells my heart tells me go with Minnesota. My gut and brain are telling me the Jets are going to pull this one out because Mike White is going to just show everybody he deserves to be a starter in the NFL, and Zach Wilson is trash. So
Pick your play.
Minnesota. I'm going Minnesota. Final answer, Minnesota.
Yeah, we need to be rooting for Minnesota, buddy.
Yeah.
Minnesota it is. Here's a game, second most or maybe the most exciting game or second most exciting game of the weekend behind Miami. The Washington Heineke's go into Meadowlands to face the Giants.
Washington.
I'm with Tamaris on this. You were on the train before I was, but I am 100% on board. Do not be surprised if Washington makes a deep playoff run in the NFC. Like, they are legit good with Heineke. They do good around him.
I agree. Washington. I think the New York Giants are frauds.
What'd you say, Tamaris?
No, never mind.
No, say it. Say it. You were about to say something.
Nope, it's gonna be really, really stupid.
Don't say it. No.
No.
You just call what Cameron just said for the last 5 minutes. Get out of here.
Like
No.
Heineke, like the drink, like the beer. I don't.
No, so Heineken is the name of the beer, but Heineke, no lie, that's how I had to learn the name. I could not say his name when he first came into the NFL. I was like, Heineke? No, Heineken.
Heineke. Okay. Got it.
See, we're learning.
Hey, so how about this game? The Tennessee Tannehills go into Philadelphia to face the Eagles.
Seahawks.
That wasn't a choice.
Tennessee at Philadelphia Eagles.
Eagles.
Tennessee, man. I think Philadelphia are frauds. You know how I feel about Philadelphia. I'm Tennessee.
Tennessee? No, I'm taking Philadelphia. The Eagles are not frauds, bro.
They're not making the Super Bowl. They are not one of the best teams in the NFL.
I didn't say they were, but they're not frauds. They're not New York Giants frauds.
Well, I'm telling you, as long as Derrick Henry's there, I'm going Tennessee.
Seattle Seahawks, Tamaris, versus the LA Rams.
Seahawks. I was one try. Sorry. I was ahead. I have them written down in my little paper.
What's the game again? I'm sorry. I was reading the comments.
Seattle at LA Rams.
Seattle, man. The Rams looked so pathetic with Perkins at quarterback, and now it's not even looking like Bradford. I mean, he may not come back at all this year. I don't know what the deal is with him, but
yeah,
I'm picking against the Rams every game this year for the rest of the year.
You know what's crazy? The Rams are getting 7.5 points at home to Seattle.
Say that one more time.
The Rams are getting 7.5 points at home against Seattle.
No. Wow, that's crazy. Yeah. Oh no, Seattle all day's winning that game.
Another exciting game. KC versus Cincinnati in Cincinnati.
KC.
Very, very good game. I think we're going to see how good Kansas City really. It's going to be Kansas City's toughest game for the rest of the year. They don't have a tougher game the rest of the year, which is stupid. I'm going to be rooting for Cincinnati, but it's tough to go against Patty Mahomes. I got to go against. I got to say Kansas City's probably going to win that game. But I'm going to be rooting for Cincy.
Our old friend Lou Amarino, who used to be the defensive coordinator for the Dolphins, is the defensive coordinator for Cincinnati. Last year, he beat Mahomes twice. I'm taking Cincinnati at home.
Upset. What's the point spread on that?
Cincinnati's getting 2 at home.
That close. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that's a really good game. Over under is 53, so they expect a high scoring game as well, which I agree with.
That's tough to take the over on 53 points, by the way. But you'd want to. Joe Burrow, Patrick Mahomes, T. Higgins, Travis Kelce. Come on now. Like, that'd be such a tough game to not take the over in. I wouldn't touch it with a 10-foot pole, but man.
Speaking of another shootout, we've got the Chargers at the Raiders. So Tamaris, the Las Vegas Raiders are hosting the LA Chargers.
Very interesting way the Raiders have won the last couple of weeks. I look at them. You guys know how I felt about them. I picked against them last week. They proved me wrong. So you know what? I'm gonna go pick him this week. I think that the Raiders are gonna beat the Chargers. Raiders. They're finding ways to win the games the last couple of weeks. Kevin Lee, by the way, with a $5 donation said Miami will win versus 49ers and Cincinnati will beat Kansas City and Miami will move into the 1 spot. And then a little bit ago, William Perry with his $5 donation said, please don't do that, Steven. I'm still having nightmares from all the HGTV houses I've had to fix. William he's a contractor down in Alabama. Roll Tide. And yeah. Anyways, go ahead. Sorry.
So I'm going to take the Raiders as well. Las Vegas Raiders. One thing that the Raiders do really well, Jacobs might be the hottest running back in the league right now.
Dude, he broke off an 80-yard touchdown run in overtime to win the game.
A walk-off.
A walk-off and finished the game. Listen to this. Finished the game with 303 total yards. What? Josh Jacobs, if he is on your fantasy team, you better be winning some games.
Better start him this week because the Chargers can't stop anybody.
The run at all. No, you're
right.
It's
interesting. That's a pick'em game. There's, it's an even odds game. Pick'em, no favorite. And the over-under is 50.
I would take the over and take the Raiders.
So on the Sunday night snoozer, and I don't know how the Colts got 2 consecutive primetime games, but the Colts.
You and I both. I said that this week. It's ridiculous that they did.
Colts go into Dallas.
Dallas
all day. Dallas is going to kill Indy. It's not even going to be a close game. The fact that the only reason that it's on Sunday night is because the NBC still thinks most of the country are Dallas Cowgirl fans, and I have no reason why they still think that, but whatever.
Yeah, I take Dallas as well, man. And it's 11. They're giving the Colts 11 points. I think it's gonna be a lot more. They cover big time. Monday night, New Orleans at Tampa Bay, and another snoozer.
Tampa Bay.
Tampa Bay has a losing record and is in first place in their division.
Sickening.
It's horrible. It's atrocious. And that Monday night game, I feel bad for ESPN. And I feel bad for Joe Buck and Troy Aikman that they have to watch that. But with all of that being said, I'm going to go Tampa.
Go Tampa. I'm going to take New Orleans in the Monday night upset. Alvin Kamara is going to
make it interesting. At least give me a reason to watch it.
Yeah, I just want to see Kamara do his thing. Maybe Taysom Hill has one of his Taysom Hill games. Andy Dalton. I don't know. I'd love to see
to bet to root for the gingerbread man at quarterback. Can't do it.
And no, it's more about rooting for Brady to continue his miserable season.
Yeah, should never come.
Which leads us to the marquee game of the week. The Miami Dolphins go into 49ers.
Dolphins, obviously.
There you go. You go, girl.
We're going to talk a lot about this. I'm pausing because
it's like an uncomfortable silence.
It is. I'm very nervous about this game. I'm not going to sit here and lie to you, say that I'm not. But if Teron Armstead plays, I think we're going to win. So with the likelihood that Teron Armstead plays, I'm going to say Miami. But I'm telling you, I haven't been this nervous since week 3. And I haven't been this nervous since the Tennessee game the prior year. I think this is the biggest test the Miami Dolphins have faced all year.
And why? It's because of their defense?
I mean, how are you going to stop like that offense? I have to put into the second half of the Texans game, right? We're up 30-0 going into halftime. I'm on cloud 9. I'm ready to take over the world. And they come out and they like it was a horrible second half. And we could, those first 2 drives with Tua, they couldn't do anything. And I'm like, what are they going to do when Bosa in the defense that San Francisco, who, mind you, have not allowed a second half touchdown in the last 4 games? It's going to be tough. And if you think it's anything otherwise, you're either being a hater or a homer or not wanting to see the reality of what the San Francisco 49ers are. And everybody's all week been, Steven, you've been pumping up San Fran. I'm pumping them up because they're the best team in the NFC. They are. They're better than, I think if they played the Eagles tomorrow, San Fran beats the Eagles all day, every day. Twice on Sunday. They are the best team in the NFC.
They're not better than Philadelphia. Just stop it.
We can argue about that at another time, but we're going to find out who the Dolphins really are on Sunday. I know that.
You tell me who they've beaten, and then we'll their record is, I think, propped up by against the teams and quarterbacks that weren't playing well this season. Listen, it'll be a true test, right? Their defense is no joke, especially if Teron Armstead doesn't play. Bosa, is going to be a terror. That said, I think it's McDaniel versus Shanahan, right? Like it's who can outsmart the other. And he's anyway.
I saw Andre Visa's comment. I'm not being a homer. I still think the Dolphins are going to win. I do. As long as Teron's in there, I'm confident that the Dolphins win. But if Teron's not in there, I'm not confident. I still think we can win, but I'm not confident.
What's your pick?
I'm going Miami.
All right, I'm going to take Miami, and I think Miami.
What's the point spread?
I think Miami wins
4, right?
Here, let me find out.
And San Fran has the 4, not Miami.
What?
San Fran's favored by like 3, right? 3.5?
4.
Yeah. So, I mean, I take Miami all day. And betting wise, by the way.
Yeah, I'm gonna take Miami as well. And I think they beat that spread. I think they win by 10.
You think Miami's winning by 10 points to San Fran?
I just said it live on air.
I love my team, and that's a hot take, my guy.
Just remember what the Dolphins defense did last year on prime time against, arguably the hottest offense in the league at the time, Baltimore Ravens. They threw a defense at them. Boyer put something on them that they hadn't seen before. Listen, I just think McDaniel and his coaching staff and these players that we have on this team are going to rise to a level that we haven't seen yet this year. And you've seen it building over the past 3 weeks, especially coming out of the bye.
Except the second half of the Houston game.
Well, the second half of the Houston game wasn't like
guys anymore since you guys are still talking about that.
Tamaris is like,
I'm here. I'm just here.
Well, all right. Well, Cameron and I will talk more about that. Tamaris, is there anything you'd like to promote? And I've heard through a grapevine that you're going to come hang out with us to watch the Dolphins Bills games in a couple of weeks.
On the 17th, Tamaris.
I felt like I have something to do that day.
No, hang out with us at Vase the Sword watch party.
Me and the girls are picking you up. Let's go. Let's ride.
That's a Saturday, and I do have something to do that day.
It's the 18th. Maybe it's the 18th. It could be the 18th.
If it's the 18th, that's perfect. But I know I have something to do on the 17th.
All right, let's hope for
all day that evening, huh? What?
No. Okay, relax. Okay. I will come
I feel like, Tamaris, you just don't want to hang out with me. That's what this is. Is it me?
I'm a loner. I like to be in my own little cocoon. I don't like to socialize. I am a very socially awkward person.
Well, Tamaris, you are part of the show now. You're a part of the family. And
I will come out one day.
We don't know
yet. We'll talk about it, Tamaris. If it's the 18th, we'll slide by and pick you up.
Okay, cool.
Hey, tell us, you got anything going on for Art Basel this week?
I'm just going to a couple events. I really hate Art Basel because, like,
traffic.
stuck in traffic, and I just like it takes you an
Swear jar.
instead of so. Oh, what, am I not supposed to curse?
We have a swear jar on the morning show. We try to keep this family friendly, Tamaris, and you just ruined it for everybody who was at work and they had their thing on real loud, and somebody just dropped the F-bomb. Way to go,
You
Tamaris.
didn't ruin it. Deshaun Watson ruined it.
Boy,
You ain't never lied, bro. Oh, your comments earlier, we're getting canceled. Never having a show
Yeah,
against
yeah.
you.
Hey, who's we? It says Clockblockers by Stephen D.
Damn. Tamaris, we love you. Have a good I hope you lose this week all your games.
I'm
I don't
not.
mean it. Yes. Except the Dolphins. You picked the Dolphins, so I hope you don't lose that one.
Ugh, whatever.
Hope you go 1-15
Okay,
or
bye.
whatever it is.
Bye,
See you, Tamaris. Have a great day.
bye. Bye, guys.
Oh, she's like, what am I doing? What am I doing here? Okay. Anyways,
Why?
why? What? Really? 10 points, bro? 10 points.
Listen, I just think that the Dolphins are going to put something on them that the Niners haven't seen. Like, as long as they can keep Tua protected.
So let me say this. The Dolphins offense, the most explosive offense that San Francisco's seen all year. There's no doubt about that. And that includes, mind you, that includes Kansas City, who they got killed by. Okay, they lost. They lost, what was it, 42-28 or whatever? 44-28, whatever it was, 44-23. I don't know what it was. It was 44 to something, 20 something. So I know that San Fran is also facing their biggest test of the year against us. But defense wins championships. We know this. And we know that in order for the Dolphins, in order for them to take that next step forward, how is Tua and the offensive line that could be Teron Armstead less going to react against a Bosa-led defense and a defense that has not allowed a second half touchdown? And I don't care that it's against bad teams. I don't care it's against mediocre teams.
They got beat by the Bears.
It's still against who? The 49ers?
Yes.
Okay.
They got beat by the Broncos.
Bro. What
They
are you
got beat-
talking about? They almost
got-
came back in the second half.
They
Put
got
some
beat-
respect on Justin Fields' name.
They got beat by the Broncos.
Okay, well, that's something. I'll give you that one.
They got
But they-
beat by the Falcons.
But they also play in the same division. Don't they play? They're not in the same division.
No, stop it, Steven.
All right, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. At the end of the day,
They got stomped by the Chiefs.
okay, but they've won 4 out of the last 5, bro.
They gave up 28 points to the Falcons, led by Marcus Mariota.
Y'all are sleeping on San Fran. I'm sorry. You and a lot of other fans are like, they've lost to all these bad teams.
They
Lost.
scored a total of 13 points on the
Whether
New
their
Orleans Saints.
defense is shutting people out. It does not matter. It doesn't matter.
They shut out the New Orleans Saints. Can you tell me the New Orleans Saints has an offense that's equivalent to the Miami Dolphins?
They won 13-0.
They only scored 13 points against the New Orleans Saints.
Okay. Again, I am going to give the Dolphins the necessary props that they deserve. Number one, most explosive offense in the NFL. Okay? They are. I am nervous. I'm sorry. I feel that way, y'all. I'm nervous. 49ers are a really good football team.
They have one running back.
Oh my God, please, dude. You're not you sound like you're not putting any respect on their name right now. You're not nervous at all?
Because you know what?
Points?
Listen, you know what? The only thing I'm nervous, and I'm not nervous about, the only thing I'm worried about is keeping Tua clean.
Exactly. Well, that should tell you right there.
But I trust my coaches. I trust the game plan. And I trust my quarterback.
They sat his ass so quickly in the second half. Actually, not quickly enough. They let him go out for 2 drives. He shouldn't have even came out and played the second half at all.
What's that got to do with the price of tea in China, bro?
The dude got sacked 3 straight plays
And why?
when Teron Armstead went out. Look at me when I tell you that Teron Armstead doesn't play this game. It's going to be rough sailing. We need to be having 2 tight ends set. I'm not saying we're going to lose. I am just my mere point is I am respecting San Francisco. I am respecting their defense. You and a lot of other fans are sitting here saying, who have they beat? Look how many points they put up against New Orleans. Look at what they did here. They got beat by this team. They got beat by the Russell Wilson-led Broncos. Blah, 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 blah. The team has won 4 out of the last 5 games. They haven't allowed a second-half touchdown in that time, and they shut out their last opponent. Who gives a crap that it was the Saints? Respect them. That's all I'm asking the fan base to do.
I'm not saying I don't respect them, but I'm saying the Dolphins are a better team, and we're going to win by 10.
I think that we're a better team, but I want to be sure of that. And I think I will know that after the 49ers game. I think we're a better team than the Chargers. I think we're going to kill the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. I think we're going to put up 40-plus points on the Chargers on Sunday Night Football. I do. 100% think that's going to happen. But I am not confident against San Fran. And I need to know what the weather is going to be like for Buffalo in order for me to feel like we're going to put on a great game against them. The next 3 games will be a very good test of how good this team is, because this game, obviously, again, y'all know how I feel about that. And level 2 noob's killing me.
Oh, and rightfully so. Rightfully so.
Steven Chat, take a vote. You're not a Dolphins fan for the week. You can reapply after Sunday's game. Name the Saints quarterback without Googling it, Steven. Andy Dalton, Jameis Winston. Please. I know the games. I know the teams.
The red-headed rifle.
The gingerbread man. Everybody thinks like I know how I just sounded. I get that, but I'm telling y'all, like, I just.
Let me ask you this.
Okay.
The Dolphins have, I think it was 5 straight games, maybe 4 straight games, 30-plus points. Do they do it again?
No. I think we win this game like 23-20, 24-21. I don't know if we put up more than 25 points.
Listen, it's a statement game, and I think that it's 38-28, 38-21, something like that. Dolphins. And I think they score on them in the second half. I think Mike McDaniel is just
so in your mind, it's a close game in the first half. They make the necessary adjustments at halftime, and they turn it on in the second half.
I think they come out guns a-blazing in the first half, and they're going to score on them in the second half. But I think it's going to be, a Dolphins lead going into halftime, and they build on it.
Everybody's like, Steven, you're scared.
Scared.
Please.
Scared.
You know what's funny about this, by the way, fan, and I love you all. Let's just throw that out there. But y'all are always like, Steven, you're a homer. Steven, you're always going to side with the Dolphins. The one time I'm like, I don't know. Oof. By the way, the last time I felt like this was the Buffalo game in week 3. And the time before that, the Tennessee game. And what did I say about both those games? If y'all watched the show, you remember I said, yeah, I think the Dolphins can win in week 3, but it's going to take everything to beat them. And by the way, it came down with the time clock running out. It had to be a full, like the coaching like everything had to go the Dolphins' way. The Heat, everything. We won that game. We won it, but it took everything we had to beat them. And I said in the Tennessee game, I said, I don't know. It's definitely going to be a tough game. You got to be able to stop the run. And I don't know how Tua is going to do in the cold weather, right? I said all that. I have been accurate. Nobody has been, in my opinion, in the entire YouTube content creator world, my opinion, no disrespect to anybody else, because I love all the content creators. Nobody's been more accurate about this football team than me in the last 2 years.
Stop it, Steven.
Bro, I called the 8. I said when they went on the win streak last year, I said they're going to win every game. The only game I have a question about is the Tennessee game. Bam. When they came in this year, I said, man, if they can win 3 out of the first 4, they're going to be sitting pretty. That even if they mess up and lose after that, a game here or there, they're still going to have the cushion to do what they need to do at the end of the year. I have been 100% accurate about this football team. 100% right. Flipside Fishing says, Stephen D, I got you, bro. You're 100% right on this. We need to be nervous. A lot is riding on this one game. They're just being blind-ass fans.
Blind-ass fans. We've been scoring 30 points a game.
Hold on,
You know
Steven.
who hasn't been scoring 30 points a game? The Saints.
Okay,
Or the Cardinals. The Chargers. Or the Rams.
I personally believe that it's just as much as it's a statement game for us, it's a statement game for them. I get that. And here's, by the way, I never said that they were going to lose. I never said that they probably would lose. I said this is what's going to happen. I am nervous that without Teron Armstead, how are they going to stop? Dude, if I'm San Fran, I'm blitzing the hell out of Miami. Why wouldn't you?
No, we got a zone run scheme that's knocking off 6.7 yards.
It's not going to matter.
What do you mean it's not going to matter? If you're just zone blitz, you're running that zone run scheme, and you're going to run down the field 8-9 yards a pop.
Dude, Tua could not get the ball off at the end of the game. When he left the game. He couldn't do it. He couldn't do it in those last 3 drives.
Man, I tell you what, man. No confidence in our team, Steve. I see you.
See, this is what I'm talking about. You say I'm having no confidence. No, I am merely stating for the record, Miami has to make the necessary changes. 2 tight end sets, having a back in the backfield.
What about the San Francisco 49ers having to make the necessary changes?
Dude, I'm not saying that they haven't.
They got to play us.
Bro, they have not allowed a second half touchdown in the last 4 games.
Because they had the red-headed rifle or the 5-6 foot, video gamer playing against them. Like, come on now, bro.
It's not that I don't have confidence in my team. I am just straight up telling you this is the biggest test of the year for the Dolphins.
Tua's getting the ball
minus week 3 in Buffalo
faster than any other quarterback in the league. And he's got Waddle and Hill coming off the line. You blitz, and listen, the middle's going to be wide open, and that's where we eat.
Everybody, so now I'm not. Omar says you're not allowed to celebrate if we win. You've been boasting the 49ers. Steven, it was me that actually called the streak when you let me go on Pete on Wildin' Out Wednesday, Clock Blockers. I said Tua will return, and we will start streaking at that point. Peeps, believe after. I'm telling y'all right now.
Batman, I would say the same damn thing, and you know it. You know it, Steven.
I have been very accurate about this team. Miami Sports Music, who has been more accurate than Sharif from off-season camp? Cam, Steven. Your Tua card has been revoked. Otherwise, I'm not sitting here saying we're going to lose. I'm not talking trash. I am merely trying to be a fan that is just looking at things not from the homer's point of view. And you guys are trashing me for it.
Speaking of homers, man, we got a Buffalo Bills fan in the chat. Oh, brother.
You guys are trashing me for trying to not look at things from a blind eye. I'm merely trying to look at things from a point of view of how an outside fan would look at it. And you have to put some respect on the 49ers name. That's all I'm merely saying. That's all.
And nobody isn't. I respect their game. I think they're a really good football team.
They are a really good football team.
They're not better than the Eagles, number one. I doubt that they're better than the Cowboys.
I think that you can make the argument that they could be. It's an argument. I'm not saying that they are. I'm saying you can argue. You can argue the fact that they are. And you know what I will say? Personally, I believe that they are. So I am saying it. I am personally saying that I think they're a better team than Philly. But who has the better quarterback? Jalen Hurts, by far and away. But everything else, I'm going to go with San Fran when they're fully healthy. That's what I think. Now,
let me ask you this. Does Christian McCaffrey make a difference in this game?
Steven, we here at the Two and Air Fan Club headquarters have reviewed your membership and have decided your account is suspended. You will be placed on 7-day probation. We will discuss next Thursday.
Steven, you are on probation.
I'm not sitting here saying we're going to lose. And you know what's funny? Everybody next week's going to be like, when we win, Steven. No, Steven said that we were going to lose. That's why Steven ain't here this week. He don't want to hear. No, I'm already going on a cruise, so I'm not going to be here no matter what.
Facts. You planned this out.
Change the narrative now.
You planned this out, Steven. I'm going to take a cruise this week because I got to pick San Francisco over my hometown team, and I'm going to get run out.
See, you're already changing the narrative. I never picked San Fran. I said the Dolphins were going to win, but it's going to be super close.
I wrote down San Francisco on your bets here.
You better not have. I definitely picked the Dolphins to win. Oh, I love you guys, but man, you guys are rough. You guys are holding nothing back. I didn't do nothing wrong. Why? Why the hate? I've been Two and Air, Mr. Two and Air for all this time. And the one moment I say, hey, look, we need to be real careful about this team. We need to make sure that we're going to be okay with them.
But do you have I'm not even wearing it. Do you have a Two and Ears hat?
And do not have a Two and Ears hat.
And for those of you like our Bills fan out there, I've got some Two and Knots hat.
No, you don't. Oh my God! Talking about playing both sides of the ball. If you're a Tua fan, here you go. If you hate Tua, here you go.
Scared money don't make no money.
Man, I get it. It's so funny. It's so Dolphin fans. I love you all, but sometimes y'all make me just laugh because I have forever heard that this is a Homer channel, that this channel is nothing but pro Dolphins. They aren't, what's the word? They aren't, I can't think of the word. When somebody's being, help me out, Cameron. You're smart. I'm not.
I wasn't even listening to you. That's how smart I am.
This is a Homer channel. There's never any, you're biased because you always root for Tua. You're a Two and Ear. That's how this channel is. Pro Tua, pro Dolphins. You never say anything negative about the team. You never question the team. Not true. Not true in any way, shape, or form. And I hope this proves it to y'all. But now that I'm doing it, and this one time I'm doing it, people are like, oh, you hate Tua. Oh, you hate the Dolphins. Oh, you have no faith in our team. We got to revoke your membership. You're not a real fan. Out here, all this stuff. You're lucky I love y'all. You're lucky. I'm sorry. I feel some type of way right now.
We're the lucky ones. I see.
Hey, Steven, I heard the Jimmy G fan club is now accepting applications. You should apply and don't use us as a reference. Green Truth says, Steven, just having second thoughts doesn't make you a homer. I get it. You know what's in front of you and you're a little concerned. Thank you, Green Truth. Thank you. Now, are you a Jets fan, Green Truth? I hope you're not a Jets fan. And I hope I don't have Jets fans agreeing with me. But
you have Jets fan sympathy. You got Bills fans and Jets fans now in the chat sympathizing. You're an opposing sympathizer.
They got to me. Flipside Bishop says, welcome to the realist side, Stephen D. I'm just calling it like I see it. And by the way, just want to say, I've been very accurate.
And what's wrong with me saying that we're going to win by +10?
If I'm honest with myself, we have the number one most explosive offense, right? So you should feel some confidence about that, right? But I'm looking at the things from the other view and saying, well, look, we have an explosive offense, but we don't know what our offensive line is going to look like, right? And I think you have to take that into account. You have to take that into effect of realizing, is Tua going to feel confident in that backfield against a team like San Fran? Because, we all get on whatchamacallit? we all get on Pete all the time, right? Because Pete's like says outlandish stuff, and he does, and by well we should. Okay. But what I will say to you is this: the Dolphins have played the last 5 games against mediocre or less football teams. Okay, no disrespect to anybody. Mediocre or less football teams. Now, I think Detroit's an up-and-coming team, and I think Chicago's an upcoming team. I'm excited about the direction of those 2 teams, and I think they both have things that are going for them. But I will give you the boat of the last 5 games have been against mediocre or less football teams. But when we're playing a team who, by the way, mind you, is in first place in their division and one of the hottest teams in all of football right now, just like us, we are too. We are too. I'm not just because I say something about somebody else does not dismiss what I think about our team. But it is the biggest test we've had minus week 3 against Buffalo. It is. And we're a different team than we were against week 3 in Buffalo. And we're better in some ways. And we also have more injuries than others. So I'm calling a spade and saying that San Fran is going to be very, very interesting. And it's going to be a true test of where this team is at. Paul Holland says, donated on to the channel through Cash App. I got your back. Concerns about the O-line. You donated $1. Let's go, baby. $1. Love it. Appreciate it, Paul Holland. Thank you. What else? I know people are out here. People are in here just getting at me. What else?
Let's play the matchup game, bro.
Wow, Steven. Sometimes you just got to look at who your allies are. Realist and Dolphins fandom equals cowardice. Oh, my goodness. He keeps doing it to himself, Trey. See, you're right.
So we might get a 49ers offense that's without Deebo Samuel. And if he plays, he's not 100%. That's a big deal.
Say what?
Like Deebo Samuel's nursing a hamstring injury.
I mean, that's going to make a difference. That's going to make a big difference.
And I'm just looking, at the matchups, right? So Brandon Ayuk is having, a really good season, especially over the past 5 games. He's a big reason why they're playing so well.
All right, why are y'all timing out Tuna's funeral? It's Tuna's funeral. What did Tuna's funeral do that y'all keep timing him out?
Oh, I think he dropped the Hitler reference to Andreas.
Oh, did he? All right, well then I have no problem with him getting timed out then. If that's
he called Andreas Little Hitler.
I have no problem if that's the case of him getting timed out. Then you can't come up here and say disrespectful stuff and not expect to get timed out. Don't say disrespect. Now I do know that Andreas can be very quick, with the trigger finger. But that's all. But if you called him a little Hitler, I think he has fair right to do whatever. Anyways, go ahead, Cameron. I'm listening.
I'm just looking at matchups like our defense against their offense, right? So, it'll be fun to watch, Jalen and Chubb versus Trent Williams, McGlinchey, who are excellent tackles, right? The interior of our defense, Christian Wilkins is having a phenomenal season. Seiler. It'll be a fun matchup in the trenches, and that's going to, whether we can put enough ample pressure on, with a 4-man front. I know you're laughing at the chat.
No, I'm laughing at this.
Your happy place.
I can't stand you, level 2 noob.
Dude, this is gold.
Oh my God.
Keep it going.
Level 2 noob got me yesterday too. Let me pull out yesterday's.
Yeah, you got me.
Yesterday he got me really good too. I'll throw it out here. Where's it at?
He caught me talking about the Marlins.
Here we go.
My hot take for these next 4. It's your boy, Stephen D. Here's my hot take for these next 5 games. We're probably going to cut Tua by the 49ers game because he really not no good. He terrible. We're going to ride that Skylar Thompson to the moon. It's your boy, Stephen D. Here's my hot take.
And what he wrote up there, he goes, I knew I clipped that totally real and not fake video of Stephen D. SKPL saying the Dolphins would cut Tua by the 49ers game. Scandalous. He never predicted 5 wins like he claims.
I mean, if it's on the internet, it's true.
It must be true. It must be true. Shout out to Green Truth. He says, Steven, I enjoy the show. Even though we root for different teams, I like to listen to other content creators' takes. Very enjoyable talk. I appreciate it, Green Truth. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it, man. It means a lot.
And Green Truth, we're all Mike White fans here.
Yes, we are. We are definitely Mike White fans. Mike White, his dad, been on our show before. Good guy.
Friend of the show, friend of Dirty Sports, friend to East 32, South Florida kid. Man, it's raining out.
Steven, not the first time. Your mods are on a power trip. I didn't reference Little Hitler until after that. I mean, that does add up probably. I don't know what to do. What is the call? What do we do, Cameron, in this situation? Who's in the right? Who's in the wrong?
Time them both out. No, you know what you do is that you put them on mano y mano and just let them have it out. Get them both up here.
Andrevius and Tuna Funeral. Would you guys come on?
Call them to the floor.
Where's it at?
Miss Finns. Shout out to Miss Finns in the chat. What's up, girl?
Andrevius and Tuna, come to the channel. Andrevius and Tuna, come to the channel. Thank you. I've heard Andrevius said F them. All right, I'm going to drop the link. This is only for Andrevius and Tuna. I'll let him come up here and battle it out. Nobody else. And I will let Andrevius have no swear jar for 5 minutes if he goes against Tuna. I'm just saying. All right, so Michael's up here. Tuna's up here. Andrevius, it's on you. Michael's up here.
Call him to the floor.
Real quick, Michael, you're the Bills fan, right?
Absolutely. Well, I'm a football fan.
But you're hold on before you go. You are what is it? Tuna, whatever.
My name's Michael K. You guys talked about me yesterday.
But are you? It's Tuna's funeral.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Put you in the back room. Andrevius, get up here. Get up here, Andrevius. And you have no swear jar for 5 minutes, Andrevius. Get up here, Andrevius.
I mean, if not, we're going to give Mike the flat platform, and he's going to talk his ish.
I don't know if I'm going to let that happen. Can't do that. Can't let it.
He's up. He's up here. He's up here.
Andrevius, get up here.
He made the walk down the platform and got on the ring.
Get up there, Dre. I'm just saying. Get up here, Andrevius. I'm going to drop the link one more time for Andrevius. Y'all get after Andrevius. Tell him to get up here. I'm scared. You got me, guys. Get up here, Andrevius. I'm running from the smoke, he said. Get up here. Come on, man. I gave you no swear jar for 5. I gave you everything you need. I got rid of the swear jar for you for 5 minutes. Come on, Andrevius. This is like I catered it to you. Andrevius, I guess then I want him to come up here. You did not give me what I need, Steven. What do you need, Andrevius? What do you need to have the platform? I'm above arguing with him. No, you were timing him out. He called you little Hitler. I asked Cameron, what should we do to make this better? And he said that you two should come up here and have at it. Let's go. Don't care. All right, fine. Michael, I'm not going to let you up here, Michael. I'm not going to give a Bills fan the opportunity to slander another Dolphins fan without Dolphins defending himself.
We could have asked him what he thought about tonight's game.
Boo Andrevius. Everybody boo Andrevius. Throw tomatoes at Andrevius.
Shout out to MCJB. Keep dropping them fire tracks, cuz.
He goes, just for this, you get a dislike. Just when I was going to give you a like today.
Ooh.
Boo, Andrevius.
Ooh.
Boo.
Is Andrevius taking donations?
Oh, man. All right, anyways. Question. It's 11:32. Where are your kids at? I have something else I wanted to talk about. Let me pull this up here. Where's it at? I want to talk about the wild card. That's what I wanted to talk about.
Talk a few minutes before you bring these other clowns up, and I'll bounce.
I'm not bringing anybody on today. I had everybody on yesterday. I'm not bringing nobody else on today.
All right.
Yesterday was crazy. I was gonna let Andrevius and Michael come on, but I'm not gonna bring anybody else on. All right, NFL standings. Here we go. Playoffs. All right, so right now we'll start in the NFC before we get to the AFC. Right now, Dallas, New York, and Washington currently hold the 3 playoff spots in the wild card. Philadelphia, Minnesota, San Fran, and Tampa Bay at 5 and 6, mind you, hold the division winners in the NFC. The 2 teams that are just outside, the 3 teams that are just outside, starting at 6 and 5, Seattle, a half a game out of the last spot. You have 5 and 7, Atlanta, and you have 4 and 7, Detroit. What team currently not in the playoffs picture has the best shot of making the playoffs in the NFC is my first question.
Say that again.
What team currently not sitting in a playoff spot has the best chance of jumping into the playoff picture in the NFC?
In the NFC.
Yep.
Without looking at their schedules, I would say it's Seattle.
And who do they take out?
Giants.
I would agree with that. I think Seattle, Geno Smith, and what Pete Carroll's done there, number one, it's hilarious, right? To get all of those assets for Russell Wilson and then still have a decent team to put out onto the field. And they could still make the playoffs, and they have all these draft picks and high round draft picks. Seattle has set themselves up for the future. And they are a team, by the way, I've been sitting here talking. I've been giving Caleb Williams a lot of love out of USC. By the way, we should talk college football before you get out of here too. Playoff. But yeah, I think Seattle is probably the team. I'm going to go with the dark horse. I'm going to go with Detroit. Detroit's sitting at 4 and 7. They need a lot of things to go their way. But do we really? But I guess the question is the Giants' remaining schedule. Let's look at the Giants' remaining schedule.
Listen, Detroit, I love Detroit, right? But they're not going to overtake the Minnesota Vikings for the division lead. And they're not going to.
Hold on. Here's the Giants' last remaining games: Washington, Philadelphia, Washington, Minnesota, Indianapolis.
Dude, they're winning
Giants
one of those.
Easily lose every game the rest of
100%. 100%. And I would love to see that for all my New York loving Giants fans.
And let's just say they win one more game. Maybe they win the Indy game. So they finished 8 and what? No way. So
there's no way.
I'm gonna. And so this is Detroit's remaining schedule: Jacksonville, Minnesota, Jets, Carolina, Chicago.
So they win 2 of those games, maybe 3.
Jacksonville beating Baltimore, by the way, was big. Was huge.
So here's the other. You asked me the question.
They have too many losses, but don't be surprised if they sneak in.
You asked me the other question, and I think Atlanta can win out. Tell me what Atlanta's remaining schedule is, because they're one game behind Tampa Bay, I believe. Or actually have the same record, right? They're 5-6. So Atlanta's 5-7. Tampa Bay's 5-6.
Mm-hmm.
They could, Atlanta could, overtake Tampa for the division lead and get into the playoffs that way.
Tampa Bay's remaining schedule.
And Tampa Bay plays New Orleans at home.
Tampa Bay plays New Orleans, San Fran, loss. Cincinnati, loss. Arizona, and Carolina.
So let's give them a 2-3 record for the next 5 games.
2-3, so that would have them finishing at 7-9.
Right.
And
so
then Atlanta's remaining 6 are Pittsburgh,
win.
bye week. That's good for them, by the way. Very late. New Orleans,
2-0.
Baltimore,
2-1.
Arizona.
3-1.
So that means Atlanta would finish 7-9 too, maybe even 8-8. Am I doing that math right?
No,
16
no, they would finish 8-8, 1 game ahead.
Wow, Atlanta. So that's entirely plausible that Atlanta overtakes the division for Tampa. And it's entirely plausible, by the way, that a team 500 or less makes the playoffs again. Although I was called out, it's only happened 5 times or 6 times in the modern football era. So it's a lot less than I
do the same for Seattle's schedule.
Seattle's remaining schedule: at LA Rams, win; versus Carolina, win; San Francisco, loss; Kansas City, loss, 2-2, and they host the Jets at the end of the year.
So I'll say 3-2, right? Which puts them at 9-7.
I'm missing a game for them. Where's their January 8th
that's
game?
16. That's 16 games. So you're missing a game. Tonight's game, New York Giants.
No. You said Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So Seattle's remaining games.
They're 6-5, so they have 11.
I'm missing a game here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm on the Yahoo app, so I don't know what their last game is. Hold on, Seattle. Stop that. Games. All right, here we go. The Rams. So, all right, so real quick, we'll start again. Rams, win. Hosting Panthers, win. Hosting 49ers, loss. At Chiefs, loss. Hosting Jets, win. Hosting Rams, win. So they finished 4-2.
4-2.
Yep.
So they're going to go 10-7, which puts them over the Giants, because we said the Giants we're going to have them win 1 game.
Yep. So, all right. So Seattle gets in. Giants are out. And Atlanta can overtake Tampa. Giants are going to have a collapse of all collapses.
Yep, I agree.
All right, let's go to the AFC. AFC as is: Kansas City 1, Miami 2, Tennessee 3, Baltimore 4. Those are all division winners. Buffalo is currently 1 or 5th in the AFC wild card. Cincinnati 6, and the New York Jets currently sitting in the last wild card slot at the 7th seed at 7-4. Your 2 teams that are on the outside looking in, New England and the Chargers sitting at 6-5. What team currently not in a playoff spot in the AFC will find their way into the playoffs at the end of this year?
I don't see a clear path for any of these teams to overtake a division rival. I mean, the Colts are 3 games behind the Titans. The Browns are 3 games behind the Ravens. That's a lot.
I agree.
You know,
But if you had to pick one team outside currently that could find their way into a spot,
well, I think it's the Patriots, you know, toggling with the Jets.
I think it's the Chargers. I think the Chargers have the better quarterback over, you know, or well, let's look at both of their remaining schedules, right? So we go here.
They're 2 games. I mean, listen, the Chargers have the opportunity as well, you know, to overtake the Jets or the Bengals.
All right, Chargers remaining schedule. Okay. You have the Raiders at Raiders, hosting the Dolphins Sunday Night Football. Awesome. The Titans, the Colts, the Rams, the Broncos. So they finished the record. I think they finished
3-3.
3-3 is probably what I had them at, right? So
that puts them at 9-8.
9-8. Right. And so then what is the other team? Let's look
Patriots
at
and Jets.
Patriots,
Jets, and Bengals.
Bengals are making the playoffs. I'm not worried about that. We'll go Patriots and Jets. Patriots remaining games. Bills tonight. Cardinals. Say 1-1. Raiders. Do they beat the Raiders in Vegas?
Where's it being played?
Vegas.
I'll say they lose the Raiders.
So that's 1-2. 1-3. They're losing to the Bengals. They're losing to us. That's 1-4. And they're losing to the Bills. The Patriots maybe win one more game the rest of this year. Maybe 2.
So that puts it 7-10.
Okay. So they are probably not going to make it. But let's go to the Jets, right? The Jets are the other team.
Yeah.
The Jets, Vikings, loss. Bills, I don't think they're going to lose twice to the Bills. So that's 2. The Lions, I think the Lions will beat them. That's 3. Jaguars, they beat. Seahawks, they lose to. Dolphins, they lose to. So they have the same thing. They're in the same boat.
7-10.
And what did we say the Chargers were going to finish?
With 9 wins.
They're going to finish 2 games ahead. And by the way, that still leaves.
So that means one of these teams.
I think that leaves.
Like, just for shits and giggles, do it for the Colts. Do it for the Browns. Hey, listen, do it for the Browns first.
Hold on, I got the Colts here. Cowboys,
Loss.
Vikings,
Loss.
Chargers,
Win.
loss.
Loss.
Giants, win. Texans, win.
No. We said already the Giants were beating the Colts. So let's eliminate the Colts because whether it's 2 wins or 1 win, they're not getting in with a tie on their record.
Correct.
So do it for the Browns.
Hold on. Hold up. There we go.
Old Mikey, man, is burning up the chat. We might have to moderate him.
I feel like I'm just ignoring. I've not even been paying attention, but whatever it is, I'm ignoring it. All right, Browns, Texans.
Browns. Do the Browns.
I know. All right, they play the Texans. That's a win.
Okay.
Bengals, loss. Ravens,
Where's it being played?
Cleveland.
I'll say a win.
So that's 2.
Keep going.
New Orleans, win.
Win.
That's 3. Washington Commanders in Washington.
Loss.
And the Steelers in Pittsburgh to end the year.
So that's 4 wins, which gives them 8.
So
They need to win one.
Cleveland could sneak their way into the last wild card spot.
So let's see how much rust Deshaun Watson has. Let's see where they go this weekend.
Well, I mean, look, hey, if there was any team to play as your first game, you get to play your former team number 1. You don't think Deshaun Watson's going to want to like kill Houston? So
do it for the Ravens. Let's go through the Ravens. So we just gave the Browns 8 wins and 9 losses. So let's do it for the Ravens.
All right. Alrighty. Where are you at? Ravens. Broncos, win. Steelers, win. Browns, I think that's a win. The Falcons, win. Steelers, win. Bengals, loss.
So it's 4-2. Like, listen, that's too much for the Browns to overcome. So the only opportunity the Browns.
By the way, that's 5-1. I have them going 5-1 in their last.
4-2. I'm going to give them 4-2. That's still 11-6.
All right, Tuna.
Tuna's firing up the troops, and like it's not. They're not playing on a level playing field. Anyway. $11:47, cuz I'm gonna jump in 10 minutes.
Well, I'm gonna jump in 10 minutes. I'm just looking at something here. Okay, so we agree that the Miami Dolphins. What do you think the next 3 games are going to be for them?
I say they win, and it's 2-1. 2-1. I say they beat the Niners, they beat the Chargers, lose the Bills, beat Green Bay. That's 3-1. New England. I'm gonna put I say we beat New England 4-1, 5-1, or possibly 4-2. Yeah, at 4 gives them.
Miami's making the playoffs. I'm not worried about that.
A 12-5 record.
I think we're either 12-5 or 13-4 when it's all said and done.
I agree with that. Do the Chiefs.
Their cake ass schedule. They got such a cake schedule, though, dude. All right, here we go. Kansas City. All right, Bengals. Bengals have a chance to beat them. I don't think they're going to win.
I picked Cincinnati, so I'm going to give that a loss.
Broncos.
Win.
By the way, don't put it out. Again, it's a division winner. Crazier things have happened. Now, they're probably going to win. I don't think Denver's going to beat them. But, again, crazier things have happened. Texans.
Win.
Seahawks.
Win.
Broncos again.
Win.
Raiders.
Loss. 4-2.
I think they go 6-0. I don't think they're losing the rest of the year.
So if they go 15-2,
but I think they could easily. But I think Cincinnati's got a legit shot. Raiders at the end of the year could beat them, and the Broncos might just you never know, right? You never know. They could split.
Listen, all I'm saying is that, and the reason I asked for the Chiefs is that for the number 1 seed, Miami is going to have to win out because they have to make up 1, if not 2 games on the Chiefs. And I just don't see that happening with, 6 games left.
Me neither. All right, Miami Sports Music's number 1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. Hit the like button, donate to the channel, help the channel grow. Make sure y'all do that. Donate. Hit the like button. It's free. It doesn't cost anything to hit the like button. Only 52 likes, 100 of y'all in the building. Also, at the same time, please make sure you subscribe to the channel. We are a little over 40 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. Big deal. A little over 40 subscribers away from 10,000 subscribers. So I would love to see it. I'd love to see us hit 10K. And then, like I said, I got ZSM Sports sending me a big thing and a whole bunch of stuff. And oh, look at a puppy! Look at a puppy! What are you doing? What are you? Are you doing any other games this year, or like traveling?
Yeah, I'm thinking about going to New England for New Year's.
Shout out to Air Carrier.
Shout out to Eric Carrier, and I will confirm that with Eric here.
Did I just lose Cameron? I feel like I just lost Cameron. I just might have lost Cameron. All right. That might be God saying it might be time to end the show, Steven. Might be time to end the show. All right, Miami Sports Music. I hope y'all enjoyed the show today. It was a lot of fun. If Cameron comes back, I'll bring him back for a final thought. It was a lot of fun nonetheless. You there, Cameron? See, Cameron keeps on trying to come back. I don't see Cameron there. Cameron, you need to go out and come back in if you can hear me. Anyways, I don't think it's me. I think I'm still here. I think I'm still alive. Y'all in the chat. Can y'all see me? Can y'all hear me? I hope y'all can hear me. But it is going to be an awesome day tomorrow. Spread Kindness Friday. My man Jason Sarney is going to be hanging out with me. We're going to be chilling, hanging out, having a lot of fun. It's going to be good times. Hope y'all enjoyed today. Spread Kindness Friday tomorrow. We'll see how it goes. We'll see if Cameron gets on here at the end. I think Cameron might be. I think Cameron's trying to get on. You there?
Yeah.
What happened?
Yeah.
I can barely hear you. Sound echoey. Yep, you got kicked off again. I don't know what's going on today, Cameron. What is going on, Cameron? That's the wrong one. You do this one. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I can hear you, but I can barely see you. Don't know. What are you doing? Cut it out. Bad feedback. Close out the other screen, Cameron. You got to close out the other StreamYard that you were on. Both StreamYards. Close them out. God, making this look so bad, Cameron. William the Ice Tray Perry says, how many subs did you get since you've been on? I don't know how many subs I got since I've been on. Would you like me to look, Ice Tray? I will look just for you. As I got since I've been on. Would you like me to? I will look. Are you there? Are you back? No? I'm looking. Dashboard. We are 44 subscribers away, William Perry. 44. Are you there? Are you ready now?
It's so weird.
Got to take you off. Can't do it. You're just done for the day. You're in timeout. That's what it is. 2 in the ears got him. 2 in the ears got him. All right, see, now I bet you if you came back this time, you'd be good. because he closed out the other thing. We'll have to see. I'll give him one more chance to try to come back. You there?
Is that better?
A lot better. What in the world, Cameron?
I have no clue.
It's like everything just went haywire for you.
That's what I get for running a Microsoft Surface, whatever, Surface Pro.
Oh, what do you want Santa to bring you this year? Good
Exactly. I'm going to redo my whole studio here, my office studio.
Are you really?
Yeah.
You going to make it more like set up for YouTube stuff?
I am. I do a whole lot of Zoom calls anyway for work. And so like I keep got to like, reposition Michael and Tua and stuff like that. It's funny.
What are you going to do? What is your vision?
Just make it more aesthetically pleasing for the show. I mean, like it's all jumbled up back there. I got a fan in the background and everything. I don't know. We'll see.
Anyways,
you got half-drank vase of Surcans behind you.
So that vase of Sorcan, it's funny. My wife was like cleaning up. Actually, my wife, I'll show you what my wife got me real quick since we got a couple more minutes. So I gotta hang this up. My wife got this for me, and it's me and her. Cool. And I'm a player and she's a cheerleader. I think it's really cool. Here, we put it on the big screen.
Dude, that's awesome.
So
that's awesome, man.
Yeah, man. I'm pretty excited
really cool.
about it.
I got a whole bunch of stuff I need to frame that merino jersey. Did I ever show you this merino jersey?
I don't know.
This is a game-worn merino jersey that's signed by Duper and Clayton.
Really?
Yeah.
That's pretty dope.
Which they don't do. Those two guys don't sign much stuff from merino. Like I had to really like talk them into it.
Why is that?
Clayton, Duper, and Marino have this all signed. Just because of some beef that they got going on with Dan.
What?
Yeah, it's Sinbad. So this came from Sinbad, right? So I went to one of Sinbad's signings years ago, and he had Clayton and Duper up there, and this is a merino jersey that I won at a.
Did you just drop some hot goss on the show that the Marx brothers and Dan have beef?
Yeah, so they don't sign each other's memorabilia.
You don't know why. You just know it's because of some beef.
Yeah.
Interesting.
We'll have to have Sinbad on and ask him about it.
That is very interesting.
Yeah, they both were like, no, and like Sinbad had to like beg them to do it for me.
Interesting, man.
So anyway, that's a pretty cool piece of memorabilia. I got a frame and.
So I have a Dan Marino jersey up, and then I love this Tua thing. I got this from 305 Sports Babe at the Baltimore thing. I love this thing. And but anyways, this beer can is from the last time that somebody donated $100. Then they had me chug this thing. So this is a little. It's part of the show. It's part of the show's history. Then I had my friend go to Cancun. He went to Cancun and he got me this thing from Cancun.
That's cool.
Yeah, I think so too. And,
that's cool, man.
And then I got some, the Dolphins stuff up in the background. I got some really cool stuff, man. An arrest warrant has been issued for ex-NFL star Antonio Brown after he reportedly was involved in a domestic dispute with the mother of his children earlier this week.
What's new? Man. What's new?
I'm about to go watch some World Cup soccer. Who's playing right now? That's what I need to know. Oh, God. Right.
Good show today, bro.
It was a great show today, man. Croatia and Belgium are playing right now. Actually, no, they're final. Croatia and Belgium tied. Canada and Morocco. Canada lost. Daggone it. I wanted Canada to go to the next round. Who has the best national anthem, by the way? I've been listening to all these national
The
anthems.
United States, and it's not even a question.
I look, yes. USA, America. Yes. Listening to these countries' anthems are pretty cool though. And the one that gets me going the most is Canada's. Oh, Canada.
Maybe because you hear it so often.
Oh, man. That could be it. That could be it. But it's really cool to see them do the national anthems before it. I like it. Japan and Spain and Costa Rica and Germany later on today. You want to pick your winners real quick? Hot picks.
Come
Who's
on,
winning?
give me the game.
Spain versus Germany. Or no. Spain versus Japan. I'm
going to take Spain.
Costa Rica versus Germany.
Germany.
You heard it here, folks. You heard it here. Hey, man, where the people can find you? Where can they find you at?
East 32 Dolphins Tailgate on Instagram, Facebook. East 32 Fins Tailgate on Twitter. Personally, it's Cameron954 on all social platforms. Doing my thing, man. Tailgreeter.com.
Hey, stay on the air afterwards. I just got to talk to you about a few things. But I appreciate you coming on to the show today and hosting with me. Next week, you're going to be with CB83, Finn's Take, doing the show while I will be on a boat. You got to
give me your picks.
We can do that after this thing, actually. Well, no, I'll send it to you on Sunday night. I'll send it to you on Sunday night after the games, after I see all the games. All right, man. I love you, brother. Be good, man.
Clockblockers crew, take care. Have a great day.
Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers, right here on the Miami Sports Music Podcast Network. I'm your host, Stephen D. It has been a lot of fun today, and we're going to keep the party going tomorrow on Spread Kindness Friday right here. Hit the like button, donate to the channel, help the channel grow, and hit the subscribe button. We're 46 subscribers away from 10,000. Let's go. We'll see you all tomorrow right here on Miami Sports Music's #1 Miami fan morning show, Clock Blockers. See you all tomorrow, everybody.
Fans for life, we throw the folk. Singing this just to welcome bro. Who that? To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. To a time. Time to grind, time to shine. To a time. My intuition.